I think we're live. I think we're live. Let me know in the chat if we're live. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know in the chat if we're live. I just accidentally knocked over some water. Luckily, it didn't hit anything. Hope you guys are doing all right. Welcome to the live stream. We're back at it. Back at it once again. Live. Nice. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know in the chat who's watching. You guys were waiting already. You guys are legends. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. All right, let's see what we have here for today. So when it comes to today for trading purposes, guys, I'm a bit skeptic when it comes to the Nasdaq for now. I would like to see the Nasdaq come a little bit lower before I'm looking for longs. And when it comes to gold, I'm looking for shorts on gold, actually. So let's see if we get an opportunity here to form on the lower time frame for the shorts. When I'm looking at the DXY, I'm actually preferring longs for the DXY after they tap back into the weekly open. I would like to see the DXY actually flip higher up and go back and mitigate some of the price action to the upside here. Depending on wherever the low is going to be formed, I'm going to be dragging the Fibonacci and see where the 50% is as a potential target for the DXY. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to be patient here. We're stuck in a range when it comes to the Nasdaq. It's not going anywhere. We had some divergence as well when it comes to ES and NQ. So I'm a bit like holding back on the NQ for now. But I think gold could potentially give us a short potential setup here. Oh, guys, we got 18 viewers instantly. We got Wilo in the building. Electric in the building. 020. We got Aloha in the building. Hope you guys are doing good. Marco UG, man, I appreciate you for always tuning in. Me, Max. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Welcome back. I've missed you on Friday and Monday. Yeah, what I do is I probably won't be streaming on Fridays and Mondays. Because yesterday, for example, was, to a degree, it was awful. You see what I mean? So it's like you had a good short setup, like when it comes to like 9:30 and stuff, but we wouldn't be there anyways. But I'll consider going live on Monday and Fridays as well. Just have to see what's up, see what's up, see if it actually has something. Because if I'm looking at the Nasdaq, if you look at the period that we will be trading from 6 to 9, so you look from 6 to 9 o'clock, all right, from 6 to 9, so that's right here, all right. This isn't like highly tradable, but maybe it would have been a potential short, on the lower time frame. But yeah, I don't know. If you caught the 4086 sell, was nice. Yes. Hey, hi guys. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see what we have here for today. We got 24 people watching already. You guys are legends. I don't know what to say. Make sure to smash up the like if you enjoyed the live stream. That would be highly, highly appreciated if you've been here before. When it comes to today's session, I'm looking for potential shorts here on gold. We have to wait a little bit because right now it's just ranging around. We do have some major news coming as well later today. When it comes to the DXY actually sold off pretty heavily, especially if you look on the higher time frame. We can see on the DXY that we're selling off, but the overall trend is still bullish, right? So I would prefer for a potential switch over to go higher again and back towards the monthly open. You can see this here on the lower time frame as well. We have the monthly open right above us, right? So I would like to see price come back into there. And when that happens, there's a big chance gold's going to continue selling off. And also with everything that's going on right now, we have oil rising, the geopolitical situation. As you guys know, if you guys look on Truth Social, it's important to be aware of what's happening on Truth Social. That's where Donald Trump goes on his yapping face, right? And he's actually been talking about everything that's going on right now. And he said that the Strait of Hormuz is actually closed again, which in that instance is bullish for oil, but it's only closed for Iran, which is interesting. But yeah, you guys understand that there's a lot of geopolitical news going on right now, so you have to definitely be careful, right? I would suggest maybe lowering your risk. There's a lot of people getting caught with like heavy spikes and stuff like that. So you need wider stops. You need wider stops. You want to avoid getting involved on the 1 minute time frame. As you guys can see, look at this. This is like untradeable, right? So we have to wait for the higher time frame to confirm, to show their hand, right? To show the market, let that shows the hand that we are trading, and then we can look for a potential setup, right? So when it comes to the Nasdaq, I actually prefer to look for longs here. I understand that price actually selling off, but I see these equal highs resting above us, right? On the 6 hour, right here, we have equal highs resting above. We went all the way down. We mitigated some of the price action to the downside, and I would prefer to look for longs. Also, when I'm looking at the VIX right now, we would have to seek some sell continuation play here on the VIX. And it looks actually pretty good, right? If you look at the overall trend right now, we are creating high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and vice versa. And we could potentially come back to these lows right here, right? So in this instance, I'm looking for longs for MNQ, but I'm not looking for longs in the top of the day, right? I would like to see price coming down a little bit before we're looking for the long setup. And when it comes to gold, like I explained, I'm looking for shorts, but I can't just enter randomly here. I need to wait for some structure, and I'm also assuming that the DXY actually wants to rate a little bit lower before it goes up, and then yeah. That will be the setup for today, right? So we're looking for longs on MNQ, and we're looking for shorts on the gold right here. I got 37 people watching already. Snail, welcome. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Welcome back to the live stream. We have news at 2:30. Yeah, you're right. So we have some major news coming in today. So as you guys can see, so we have news, we have the core CPI coming out, and we have some news for the GBP later on in the day. That's not really important for us, but 2:30 is definitely going to be something. I hope the move is going to occur beforehand, right? So that means that the news is actually going to be an extra driver for the actual move, or it's going to reverse the manipulation move just before the news. That's what I hope to see. And that we're not going to be stuck in this range for 2 hours before it actually happens, because that would be that would be a bit upsetting. But we're going to see whether or not this is the case. And for the rest, yeah, guys, make sure to, hit the like if you enjoy the live streams, if you've been here before especially. And if you want to be notified when I go live at exactly 8 minutes ago, make sure to hit the notification bell. I think some of you guys already did that, because we have 40 people watching instantly. So for everyone who's watching, I truly appreciate you. I think, yeah, I don't know what to say. I find it amazing. I really appreciate it. But yeah, we're going to see what happens today. We're going to see what happens today. Martin, welcome back to the live stream, my guy. I hope you're doing all right, bro. I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Went out to, in the weekend, I went out back to the old city where I used to live, hang out with some of the friends, have some fun, stuff like that. And now we're back at it. We're back looking at the charts, completely locked in. And we're going to see what's going to happen today. What did you guys do over the weekend? For the guys that just tuned in, there's no actual trade yet. I can mark out where we're potentially looking for longs, right? Something like this would be the idea. But what did you guys do over the weekend? Let me know in the chat. Did you guys do anything at all? If so, what did you do? I would like to know. Let me know. CPI, GG, yes, the CPI coming in. We're going to see what happens here, though. We're going to see what happens here with the CPI. I'm looking for the equal highs to be taken out here, right? So looking for the equals to be, okay, taken out. I'm just going to copy this and paste it on the chart. I think that's better. And we're just going to put it like this, right? Put it like that. Boom. Make this a little bit shorter. All right, so we're looking for the longs. We're looking for these equals to be taken out to the upside, but we need to see price come a little bit lower before I can get involved here for the longs when it comes to the Nasdaq. And yeah, besides that, yeah, it's going to be waiting today, guys. It's going to be waiting for sure. I can't long it from here. There's no reason for me to do so. I would like to see this BPR being broken out of, right? And then I want to see for the long continuations here. That would be the best ideal scenario. Let's say they actually start breaking out and they start creating structure. We could get involved in like a new hourly candle or something like that to try and get involved. But you guys understood, like I mentioned last time, right? When there is a candle, when you're looking at the candle, the most ideal situation, if you're looking at the daily creation, is to get involved from the current day range around 50% or lower if you're looking for continuation plays, right? You don't want to get involved most of the times in the top of the day, because the scenario is as follows. It can just go down and rate you out before it goes up again, right? To seek some balance, like it wants to rebalance price before it does it. So you have to question yourself whether you want to get involved, yes or no. Or you just lower your risk, right? You lower your risk. Carbo Knight, hope you're doing all right, my friend. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Hope you're doing all right, Leo. Morton, my friend, welcome back to the live stream. DJ by night, so I spend my time in the club. Hey, really? Oh, I like that. So what clubs do you play at, bro? Come on. Hook your boy up. I will come and visit you one day. I'm not really the club type of guy, but if you're playing, I will definitely come along. We're going to have some fun. That would be nice. Limit orders resting on a 15-minute breaker. Yeah, so you're looking for price to come back here, right? Towards this level. I understand. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Techno, nice. Let's see. So we got 56 people watching already. You guys are legends. I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed the live streams, make sure to smash up the like if you've been here before, especially. That will be highly appreciated. You help the stream out a lot. And for the guys that just tuned in, we're looking for longs on MNQ, but we're waiting for price to come down a little bit. And I'm looking for shorts on gold. And we're waiting for gold to go up a little bit before we're looking for the shorts here. So that's the current play. And that's what we're waiting on. Let's say price actually rates a little bit higher here on the current 6-hour creation, back to like 50%, somewhere in here, and then they sell off below current 6-hour open again. This could be a potential sell-off continuation, but it really depends on what the dollar is doing here, guys, right? So we always, for the guys that don't know what we're doing here, we're always comparing all assets against the correlating asset, or the closely correlated asset, right? So that's why we're looking at the dollar when we're looking at gold, and that's why we're looking at the VIX when we're looking at the Nasdaq. And in this instance, the VIX for me looks like it wants to go lower. If you're looking at the higher time frame perspective, it definitely looks for a sell continuation play if you're looking at the current structure. So this means that for MNQ, I'm looking for longs, right? And when it comes to the dollar, it's looking like it wants to go higher. If you're looking at the current structure, right? It looks like it wants to go higher. So this means I'm looking for shorts on gold, also because the structure is aligning. But we have to wait and see if they actually want to give it to us. Let's say they actually start rating lower and lower and lower. We have to wait for like a new hourly candle to open up and give us the power of 3 setup on the hourly to get involved here, right? So we're going to wait and see. Hopefully we're going to get something out of it. That would be nice. Hey there, FX. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Do you have any PDF guide about SMC, bro? No, I do not have any PDF guide about SMC. I'm actually creating one right now. I'm still busy on it. I'm actually working it out. And I'm working out how I look at the charts. Once this is finished, you guys get access to it. But it's not done yet. Nowhere near done. It still is going to take me some more time than I expected. But I will make the PDF. And of course, there's some understanding needed to read the PDF. But I'm giving some basic understanding, and then I just dive into how I look at the charts and what setups I trade at certain times and stuff like that. So that's how I do it. Smash the like button. Yes, thank you, my friend. DBT, hope you're doing all right. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Most likely chop. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope it's actually going to do something here. But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully the CPI, we have some move beforehand, and the CPI is going to be the drive-through for a later price action, right? So this means that we're going to get involved here, and the CPI opens around here, and then it actually continues to drive. That would be amazing, but we'll see what happens here. And at least looking for the longs once they come down a little bit. So what I mean by this, guys, we're looking at the current day range, right? And we want to see price to come back to around 50%. That would be the most ideal situation. And then look for a breaker formation or anything in that instance to look for the long continuation. This could also happen in the next hour. Could happen in the next 2 hours. It could happen half an hour before the news happens. We don't know, but this is what we're looking for. And when it comes to gold, for gold, the thing is, when it comes to gold, you're looking at the current day trading range, right? You're trading already above the current trading range, right? So you're already trading above the open of the day, meaning that we're already paying higher prices than its initial opening price. So right now we have to wait for and see if price actually wants to go a little bit higher, and then reverse down again, and then we seek the alignment between gold and the dollar here, right? So, like I said, I want to see price go back into the opening gap when it comes to the dollar, and then see a flip above 6 o'clock right here. So we have the alignment when it comes to 6, when it comes to the candle creation, basically, right, for gold and the DXY. So yeah, that's what we're looking for, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. For the guys that just tuned in, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, how are you guys doing? Press a 1 in the chat if everything is going fine. If you have some struggles with accounts or whatever, let me know. We'll all go through it, guys. Like I said it before, I'm no special individual. I'm not going to claim that I am, because I'm not. I'm just a trader just like you guys, trying to make it work. And I blow accounts up all the time. You know, I'm not special, and I don't want to be praised differently. So let's just try to make it work together, guys. Let's just try to make it work together. The MNO and the LDO line on your chart, what does it stand for? Monthly? No. So the MNO is midnight open, and LDO is London open, right? So that's how I look at it. Yo, broski, I'm back. Happy to see your subs are going up. Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, the subs are going up insanely hard, guys. For the guys that haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure to do so. But we're at a 1.15. So we're at 1,150 subscribers, which is insane to me, right? It's insane to me. But I appreciate every single one of you for doing so, right? I don't know what to say. You guys are legends. You guys are legends. Hi, so the USDX for gold and the VIX for, yeah, so I use the dollar, right? So yeah, I use the X, I just use the DXY to go for gold. And I use the VIX for MNQ, but I use the Volks because the Volks moves a little bit cleaner, but they tend to do the same thing, basically, right? They tend to do the same thing. But I use the Volks to look at MNQ here. Thanks, no problem, my friend, no problem. Any day. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Where are you guys from? For the guys that just tuned in, for the guys that haven't been here before, let me know where you're from. I'm from close to Amsterdam, Holland. For the guys that don't know, the Netherlands. And I've been living here my entire life. I'm 23 years old and I've been trading for 6 years, guys. You can already see it because I'm starting to lose hair. As you guys know, I'm starting to lose hair. But it's okay. It's okay. If I actually go bald, we're gonna get a hair transplant together, guys. Because we're not going bald. I wanna keep my curls, guys. I wanna keep my curls. I don't wanna lose them. I'm blessed with the curls, and if I lose them, that would be awful. That would be awful. Thank you, Romania. Welcome. Welcome from Romania. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. I've heard that Romania is a really beautiful country. You have a lot of nice roads to drive on if you have a nice car and stuff like that. Oh, we got a new subscriber. Noah, I know you. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. And welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing all right. I know you because you're from the best Discord community on these prop firm streets. From the 0 Day J fam. For the guys that don't know, I've actually mentioned Jay before. But Jay is one of the most transparent, if not the most transparent YouTuber on these prop firm streets. For the guys that trade prop firms, I'll show you guys who 0 Day J is. This is his YouTube channel. You can go and check him out. He actually streams as well on the Power Hour most of the times. But if you really want to see someone that goes through the struggles on a day-to-day basis, Jay is your guy. He's showing when he makes money, shows when he loses money. He's a legend. He is a legend. From Michigan in the States, but in Arizona now. Nice. Welcome. Welcome from the United States. I get my stepmother is from the United States as well. My stepmother is also from the United States. She has a house in Florida, and she has another one somewhere in the woods, but I'm not sure where precisely. But my dad goes there every now and again, like probably every month, and then she comes to the Netherlands as well. You know, it's nice though. I've heard it's really hot though in the Florida, especially. It's like insane temperatures right now. You don't want to be there, is what they told me, at least. All right, let's see. So we're getting some selling pressure here. Let's see if they can actually break through and actually take some of this liquidity out to the downside so we can actually look for the long. So it would be highly, highly appreciated. Maybe the markets will do it for us. If we're looking at if we're looking at ES not really doing anything at all. So that's a bit of a tough one to see. I hope the correlation is going to be nice. If we're going to get a little bit of a sell-off here for both assets and then look for the long continuation. When it comes to gold, it's also just ranging, guys. We just have to wait. We just have to wait. Bless the stepmom. Yes. When it breaks through, will you be taking it? Taking it for what? For shorts? No, I won't be taking shorts. No. My bias is longs for today. I won't be looking for shorts, but I will be looking for longs once they come back down. I have properties in Florida. Nice. Nice. I've heard there was some... Where was it again? Like you have hurricanes and stuff, right? Is that also in Florida? I know that it was really hard for her to get like a insurance on her house and stuff like that. I don't know precisely if it was in Florida or it was in the other location. But yeah, we got 74 people watching. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. That would be highly, highly appreciated. That would be highly appreciated. Shorts are a cheap risk. You can define small stops now. Yeah, sure, you're right. Yeah, but I'm not gonna... Like, there's a certain philosophy I live by when it comes to trading, right? The only way to lose money is when you're involved, right? Meaning that I could try and predict the move to the downside. Meaning that if the move actually occurs to the downside, I could try to get involved and trading the anticipation of the move that I'm actually looking for, or I could just wait for the actual move that I'm looking for and just proper size up whenever they do it, because I think ideally, looking at the current chart, that there's a bigger chance that the longs are going to be valid overall than the shorts, right? So that's a bit of a way of how I look at it, you know, because I know from myself that if I get involved here, let's say I get involved and I get stopped out, I'll try it again, I'll try it again, I'll try it again, and then I'm down $300, $400, right? And that's unnecessary trading. You see what I mean? It's unnecessary trading. And if you want your RR to make sense, you need to quit the bullshit and just look for that one particular setup that you're looking for. You know what I mean? What's your prediction on gold during the CPI? I don't predict the news, my friend. I don't think you should do either, personally. When it comes to news is highly unpredictable, right? So there's no... A good example would be if you just look at the charts. If we're just looking at the charts, I'm going to show you something. If we're just looking at the charts, let's say you're looking at the current day candle, right? Let's say this is the current day candle. We have the high, the close, whatever. And we're trading around here, right? This is 6 o'clock. After 6, anything can happen. I could say to myself that I'm predicting for price to go higher, and it might do go higher, right? And at the end, at New York, it goes all the way back down again. And then you have news late in the session and it goes all the way back up again. So meaning that my prediction, whether or not it's going to be correct, does not make any sense, because I can't predict what's going to happen in the future, right? There's no... I'm looking at price. I technically analyze what I think could happen in a certain scenario, and that's what I look for. And then I take my trade, and after that, it's done. Like, I don't want to try and predict what's going to happen next, because if you do so, if you're going to try and predict levels, you're going to feel like a king, right, when it hits, and you're going to feel glorified. But when it doesn't, the equal opposite force is going to be returned back to you. You're going to feel like a loser when you can't predict price anymore. But you can't do it because it's uncertain. You see what I mean? So it's a good idea to not try and predict price. That's my personal opinion. I've did it in the past, and sure, in the past I managed to make it work a couple of times. But yeah, it never outweighs the stress that comes with it when you get involved on the news or whatever, and it goes the complete opposite way and you blow an account, right? It's not worth it. You didn't look at that video, right? Which one? The one that you talked about? No, I didn't actually. I wasn't home actually. So I did not look at it. Let me state it this way. I did not look at it. I wasn't home. But I'll look at it later today, because you sent it to me on WhatsApp. But you need to send me a new... can you send it again? Because I have a new phone. I don't have my WhatsApp history anymore. It's all gone. So if you could send it to me again, that would be nice. I've got a new phone. Got a new phone. Let me see. Yeah, it gets windy. Yeah, that's what she told me as well. That you can't get like an insurance on your house and stuff because it gets windy and all that type of stuff. I don't even know, to be honest. It's a lot of stuff that comes into play when it comes to insuring your house in hurricane locations. We don't have that here in the Netherlands, you know? We don't have that. Brother, I'm leaving Saturday. You're leaving to what? You're going to Thailand? Where are you going? Let me know where you're going. All right, let's see what happens here. We got 83 people watching, guys. If you enjoyed the live streams, make sure to smash up the like. That would be highly appreciated. It helps out the channel a lot. So if you want to do that for me, that would be nice. When it comes to the guys that just tuned in, we're looking for longs on MNQ and we're looking for shorts on gold. But we're just waiting to see whether or not price actually wants to go down into the gap that I was looking for. If not, and we're going to wait for the closures on the upcoming hour. And then we might potentially look for the continuation play when it comes to gold. But I would like to see price actually go higher first before I'm looking for the shorts here. Do you trade live every day? It depends. I try to go live on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at least, right? That's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. But when it comes to like Monday and Friday, those are not really my type of days when it comes to trading. What I've noticed on Fridays and Mondays is that there's a slack in delivery, meaning the move is happening, but it's not really happening. I'm not saying that this looks any better, to be honest, but I've noticed that that's really tough for me to trade, right? Especially if I'm looking at last week's Friday. If you look at the current chart, right? Let me see. If you look at the current chart, this is Friday, right? You see how price is moving, right? On Friday, it's not really going anywhere. It's going down, right? But it's going down like this. meaning that you're gonna be stuck in a trade for a really long period of time, and it's gonna be mentally suffering, you know, if price doesn't actually displace. So I try to avoid those days personally. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Good morning. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. If you enjoyed the live stream, smash up the like. It would be highly appreciated. And for the guys that haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I've got a new like thingy that comes into the screen, and then it pops up and it shows that you subscribed. I worked on it for a couple of like at least an hour to figure out how to work it out. But it worked. It worked. Like I refused to watch a full YouTube video, so I made my own suffering, guys. I made my own suffering by not watching a full YouTube video. But yeah, it worked out. It wasn't that hard after all. Thomas, where are we going after CPI? I don't predict the news, my friend. Leonardo, I just explained that a couple of minutes ago. I don't predict the news because you know that if you're looking at the candle chart, you could be right for 5 minutes. And that could be the move that you're looking for. And afterwards, it completely goes the other way. We go to the bar, have some drinks. Where? Let me know. Let me know. Show me the was to the next whiskey bar. Don't ask me why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Don't ask me why. Yeah. Nah, we'll see. Let's see what happens here. We're still ranging around, guys. I hope we're going to get some price action printing here for us to look for the long setups, especially here on MNQ. That would be nice. Or looking for the gold shorts here in a minute. But I'm looking for price to go back above 6 and then look for the shorts to the downside. We are already displacing a little bit higher here on the DXY, which is not really favorable for us. But yeah, let's say they actually close this bullish like this. We could look for the next hour to come down and give us the continuation play. Your subscribe doesn't work. It should work. It should work. It just did it. Maybe for some reason, for some people it doesn't work, but it should work. Because it just did it. Someone came on the screen, it's like, boom. But I'm not sure. It did work, guys, right? You guys saw it before, right? Just let me know in the chat. I'm pretty sure it worked. If you know, you know. All right, let's have a look here, guys. We got half an hour coming in, a new half an hour open. I hope to see, I just want to see price first step into this opening gap. But let's say if this doesn't work out for us, it could potentially be that the next hour is going to do it for us, right? We're going to look for the next hour to look for a trade here. That would be nice. The upcoming hour and half an hour. Let's see what's happening here, guys. All right, so we still have you could say that we have a chart pattern right now. We have like a triangle or whatever people call it. Like it's compressing, that's for sure. But we're looking for a nice breakout sooner than later. How long are you streaming today? I'm streaming 3 hours today. Where were you yesterday, by the way? I wasn't home, and yesterday also wasn't my type of market, so I wasn't trading. I wasn't trading, my friend. How can you see that? Yeah, so I use the Volks, right? So the VIX and the Volks is basically a similar scenario, but I'm looking at it from a higher time frame perspective. All right, so I'm not looking at it on the 1 minute, even though you could, but also on the VIX it doesn't look good, right? So I'm not looking at it on the 1 minute, but I'm looking at it on the higher time frame perspective, meaning that what is the higher time frame telling me? Are we looking for shorts? Are we looking for buys? When it comes to the chart perspective, right? Right now you see the Volks, right? You see in the top left corner, I'm looking at the Volks, and we're looking at the higher time frame. I see the price currently moving down, right? So I'm preferring short potential here for the VIX, downside potential, knowing that MNQ most of the times moves the opposite direction, right, than the VIX. So I would be looking for longs on MNQ, and this just confirms for me, okay, where are we located? Is it logical for the VIX to go down lower? And if the answer is no, there's a big situation here. Let's say they actually break out higher and then they go down, because this is more of an ideal scenario, could be, right? I can use that in my favor when I'm analyzing MNQ, right? So that's how I use it personally. Let me know if that made any sense to you, Costal, but that's how I do it, bro. So you could use the Volks, right? The Volks is the FXCM chart. Could you share anything about your entry model? Yeah, did you watch the video that I shared with you guys? I have a video For the guys that are interested, let me know in the chat. But I have a video that actually explains everything about how I look at the chart, right? So when it comes to time frame synchronization, for the guys that are interested, press a 1 in the chat. I'll share it with you guys. But when it comes to entry models are ways for you to enter the market, right? Everyone has their own way of looking at the charts in that instance when they enter the chart. But I can share this video with you guys, and you guys can let me know in the chat or in the comments section if you like it, yes or no. So you can watch this video. But when it comes to entry models, so entry models is really simply, for me, it is important that there's a structural break. So this means that, let's say we're trading in the current day. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the whiteboard out. All right, so let's see. All right, so we have the whiteboard. It's going to be way better to do it this way. Also because I like it. I like doing it this way. So I'm going to open this up a little bit. Let's see. All right, here we go. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me good? I told it last time, don't do anything nasty on the other side of the screen. Can you guys see it? Let me know in the chat. Press a 1 in the chat if you guys can see it. And hit the like button if you enjoyed the live stream. All right, so let's look. All right, yeah. All right, so let's have a look, right? So when it comes to the current day trading range, when it comes to entry models, right? Let's say we're trading, this is our current day trading candle, right? This is our current day trading candle. This means in a bullish scenario, we will be trading up here, right? If I'm looking for long continuations, let's say now at 6, right? I want to see 6 opening up, going down, back into, for example, 50% of the current day trading range, right? 50% of the current day trading range. And I look for a structural shift to play out, meaning I'm looking for a low to be rated, a high to be broken, and to come back and support that level, right? That actually broke the low. And then I would look for the longs. So simple support and resistance, or a breaker block in this instance. But the entry model itself doesn't really mean anything at all, right? I'm going to explain to you why. The most important thing is that you're trading in the right location, right? If this entry model would play out here, right, in the top of the day, the likelihood of it succeeding is going to be lower, right? You could also say that the strength is way better and stuff like that, sure. But I've noticed for me personally that the most successful trades are the ones that are trading below its current trading candle that you're trying to trade. You're trading with or against the trend. Those are also opposite things. But you're trading with the trend, but you're trading lower inside of the current trading range. You see what I mean? So that's how I personally look at it. So I want to avoid, if we're looking at the current chart, I'm going to show you guys. If we're looking at the current chart, right? So if you look at the current trading chart, we're trading in top of the current day, right? So we're trading right here. You see that? We're trading in top of the day because this is the day open. If we remove everything, let me actually put this on the side. So if we're looking at the current trading day, this is the day they open right here, right? As you guys can see, right? That's the current trading day open, and we're trading right now in the top of the day, right? Meaning if the entry model plays out here, sure, it could still play out, but I would be more happy if price actually comes down again, rebalances some of this liquidity down, creates a higher low, and then we go higher. You see what I mean, guys? And this is also when it comes to like a risk to reward perspective, you can use the current day levels as your draw on liquidity instead of trying to force it to go to like previous day liquidity, right? That's why we're looking for price to come down, then make that structural shift, and then go higher. Does that make sense? But there's another scenario here, right? There's another scenario. So let me actually press the 1 in the chat if this actually makes sense, what I just explained to you. But there's another scenario here, right? And this is the same exact thing, but done differently, right? So let's say we're trading below the current day opening, right? Meaning that if I look at it from this angle, let's say the trading day opened right here, right? And we have a top wick, and we're trading lower like this. All right, and we're in the bottom. But the overall trend of the current market is bullish, right? The overall trend of the current day is bullish. So we're trading below the current day open, right? We're trading below the current day open. In this scenario, you're using previous price action to define whether or not a bottom wick for the day is valid. The ideal scenario when it comes to longs and you're trading below the open of the day means that you're trading against everyone, but you're trading in favor of the trend when you get involved here for the longs, right? So if you're trying to look for the longs, you're in the bottom of the day, meaning you're already in an extreme for the day itself. For the opposite, what we just explained, you're not in an extreme for the day itself. You're trading within the current day trading range, right? But you're not trading the extreme, because if you're trading in the bottom, this means that for the current day, you're trading already in discounted prices in relationship to where price opened up, right? Meaning that the open is above you, you're trading below, meaning you're buying cheaper than the original opening price. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense. So these are the most ideal setups. I personally think so, right? Meaning that you're trading, let's say this is a bullish candle, right? Whatever, something like this. And you rate previous day low, right? You rate previous day low. And then you look for the long continuation setup playing out on the new 6 o'clock open, right? And then you're looking for current day high or current day open as your target, right? And the entry model, and as of again, the important part of where you enter is it due to location of price. It has nothing to do with the entry model itself, right? That's why a lot of people, they fail at trading order blocks and stuff like that, is because they're not waiting for the ideal scenario to play out. So let's say we do break out higher on MNQ here, right? This means we're trading in the top of the day. So let's say price actually stays above, right? So looking at this scenario here, price actually stays above, right? So we have the accumulation here and they stay above. We're looking for the new hourly candle to open up here, right? So we look for the new hourly candle to open up and we're trying to get involved on the new hourly bottom wick, right? Meaning that at least for the hour itself, we're trading with the trend where we're trying to get involved when everyone else is wrong, right? You see what I mean? And then we're looking for the continuation play here, right? So then they will have some form of confirmation, meaning that if they actually close bullish on the hour, we have the confirmation that they actually truly want to go higher, right? We actually had that set up last week as well. And Q is going long. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. I can see it breaking out. So yeah, let me know if that made any sense to you guys. But that's the overall idea here, right? But yeah, I can see that NQ is breaking out. We'll see whether or not this is going to be the valid one, though. We got a new 20-minute candle coming in here in 2 minutes. So when it comes to the lower time frame, what did we actually do here, right? You can see it here on the lower time frame, right? This is 6 o'clock, meaning this is our current 6-hour open. We actually rated up, created short-term liquidity, traded it down. We shifted structure here, right? So we can see that we shift structure right here. You guys see that? And we're pushing price higher, right? Meaning that currently we're trading above current 6-hour open. But what happened? We still have low resistance liquidity here. Meaning that for the overall higher perspective, it could still do something like this, right? It doesn't mean that it's actually a valid breakout. And that's why we have to wait for the confirmation for the new hour to open up. And then see what the new hour does here. So for now, I'm still not convinced that this is actually going to break out. Like it's been doing this over and over again. So until it actually proves to me that it wants to go, there's no reason to get involved yet. And gold is still not doing anything, guys, right? Gold is still not doing anything. But we're going to wait and see. We can see that the VIX is actually moving down a little bit here. So that's confirming, that's aligning with MNQ here. So let's see. Let's see what they want to do. Let's see whether or not they want to break out and go higher from here. But yeah, let me know if that made any sense to you guys. I hope it did. I hope it did make any sense to you. But that's how I look at it personally. Do you use the true day open of Asia Open? No, I don't look at it. You mean true day open, you're referring to a midnight open or what? You're referring to a midnight open? Hello from New Zealand. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Hello from Amsterdam. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. Picasso, yes, sir. Yes. So we got 91 people watching. If you guys enjoy the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. You do help the channel out a lot. Hey, Super Frank, you see, it still works. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel, my guy. I truly appreciate that. For the guys that haven't done it before, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're always aware of when I go live. So when it comes to current day, we're looking for longs. I would prefer to look for longs lower We're going to see whether or not this is going to be the case, but I would like to see price go lower into here and then look for the long continuations to play out. That would be the most ideal scenario. Whether or not this is going to be the case, we're going to see. You know, it would be nice if price wants to go down, and then we have some form of play higher here, right? If they do want to stay up here, after they, for example, retest 6 o'clock, they retest 6 and then go higher, this might change the whole scenario. But until it happened, we don't know. We don't know until it happened, right? Yes, TDO. Yeah, I use midnight open for sure. How's the charts treating you? Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I haven't took any trade yet, as of yet, but we're looking for some setups here. We're looking for some setups. I'm looking for a short here on the gold chart right now. I hope to see it go a little bit higher and then form break below 6 again and then look for the continuation play. So that's what we're looking for when it comes to gold. I know that 2 o'clock is still left open, meaning that they could also come back to 2. But we're going to see whether or not this is the case. I'll make sure to mark it out so I have a little bit of an understanding here. Washit, thank you, my friend. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. When it comes to the VIX, you see that the VIX actually pushed all the way back up again, guys. Right? So this is what I'm saying. You have to be really careful trying to trade these breakouts because price instantly went down again when they came to MNQ. So it went up, but it didn't really go up. How many trades do you take per week? Yeah, I don't know. There's not like a there's not a standard fixed amount of trades that I take per week. Last week we took I think 5 trades. 1 3, lost 2. If I'm correct, let me know in the chat, guys. I'm not 100% sure, but I think on Tuesday we lost 2 of them. And then we made it back with 1. We made all of it back with some change as well. And on Wednesday, I think we took... Or was it... I don't know precisely, actually, to be honest. Do you mark out all your levels manually or do you have an indicator? Yeah, when it comes to the times, I have an indicator for it. And the opening and stuff like that. But the rest, I just mark out... I mark it out myself. Indicators depending on what type of indicator you're using. Like if I'm using FEG indicators and stuff like that, I've noticed that I become more slacking. What's your RR? Depends on the trade, bro. I don't have a fixed RR. Like at least 2 R at least, but I don't have a fixed one. What's a good free chart to use? Free chart as in, what do you mean by that? Free chart? Let me know what you mean by free chart. Cheers. No problem, my friend. No problem. Maybe the news will give the 29,460. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if the news is gonna do it for us. I hope it happens a little bit earlier though. Like a website to watch the market. You can use TradingView. TradingView is free. Yeah, you can use TradingView. I'm using TradingView. Which indicator is it? So for the guys that want to have the indicator, I'll share it with you guys. Alright, so I'll share the indicator with everyone that wants to use it. It's simply the openings, right? Of any candle that you want to use, you can put the opening on it. That's my indicator. There you go. So I've put the indicator in the chat for the guys that want to use it. And I'll also put the other indicator in the chat for the guys that are that want to use the opening of the day and the week and stuff like that. Give me 1 second. Alright, here you go. All right, there you go. So here you have the indicators, right? For the daily open, the weekly open, the monthly open and stuff like that. If you need to know what the times I'm using all the 4-hour opens on the New York session, right? Meaning that this is all for the New York time zone. And I'm using midnight open, a 2 o'clock London open, stuff like that. So you can have a look here. You can just pause the video if you want to. And how you put it in is simply you put the first hour or the first half an hour, whatever you want to use, and you put a 1 at the end, right? So 2 and then 2:01, right? And then you can actually see all the hours dragged out into time. We got 106 people watching. I hope you guys doing all right. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. That will be highly, highly appreciated. For the guys that just tuned in, we're looking for shorts on gold and we're looking for longs on MNQ. I hope there's something going to happen before the news that would be high. That would be amazing if that's the case, right? But we'll see whether or not this is the case. Yo, what's up? Yo, David. Hopelijk gaat alles goed, ouwe. So yeah, that's what we're looking for now, guys. But until then, yeah, we don't have anything to trade as of now, right? We're looking for the gold shorts and the NQ longs. Let's see if this plays out. So when it comes to the analysis for the guys that just tuned in, I'm also using the VOLX, so the volatility index. For the guys that don't know, I'll share with you guys what it is for the guys that are interested in it. Here you go, right? So I have an article that I shared with you guys in the chat. It's about the VIX, what the VIX actually means. But in simple terms, the VIX is an anti-correlator when it comes to the Nasdaq, meaning that the VIX likes to do the opposite, or the Nasdaq likes to do the opposite, whatever the correlation is, of what the VIX is doing, right? In this instance, the VIX looks like it wants to continue to the downside. We've been doing so over and over again. We create a high, create a lower low, create a lower high, right, in relationship to this high, of course. And then we create a lower low, lower high, lower low, right? That's simple. So I'm looking for price to continue to the downside here and not break out higher. We're trading below the monthly open. We have to keep in mind of that. But I'm looking for price to go lower. And this means that I'm looking for longs on MNQ, knowing that there's a big likely chance that they're going to do the opposite. So I will be looking for longs, and I'm looking for longs back to the relative equal highs to the upside here when it comes to NNQ, right? On MNQ. I'm looking for these relative equal highs. Probably I won't be in the trade for that long. If I can get 2 or a little bit more, I will take it out, most likely. But that's my overall target, right? Back to those highs. And when it comes to gold, I'm looking at the Nasdaq. I'm looking at the DXY chart, the dollar chart, for the guys that don't know what DXY means, all right? And I'm looking for the long continuation for the dollar, meaning that I know that the opposing asset is gold in this instance, and I'm looking for price to continue lower. Also, with the geopolitical news that's going on right now, and with the strait being closed again for Iranian ships and everything like it, and there's a lot of stuff going on, oil is going to rise because the oil is going to be less easily takeable, right? You could say, because of the Strait of Hormuz, meaning that the price is going to rise because it's going to be more scarce, right? So if this continues to go higher, I'm looking for gold to continue to the downside, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know in the chat if you guys understand what I mean. Do you see a move before the news as manipulation? Yeah, that could definitely be the case, but it's not something that's going to be static, right? Meaning that every move before news is going to be manipulation, stuff like that. But it definitely could be the case that that's going to happen, right? We're going to have some move to the downside before the news, and this means that everyone is going to be induced to short it, and then it actually goes higher, right? This could definitely be the case. All right, we see that price actually moving higher a little bit here on gold. This is favorable. Let's see if we can break up, maybe even take the current day high, and then look for the short continuation, or we're going to look for it somewhere in here, right? So we're looking for the current trading range. And we're going to look for a short potential lower from here somewhere. We're going to see what happens. CPI is most of the time one-sided. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see what happens here. We'll see whether or not the news is going to be in our favor today, or it's going to go completely the opposite way as that we expected. You never know. When are you going to Bali? I don't have a set date yet. I was contemplating going in September for 2 months. But it really depends on how the streams are going as well, because I actually really enjoy live streaming. So I might just, you know, stay live streaming with you guys for a little bit, and then once that is all working out, I will move to Bali, go there for a couple of months. But I need to bring a lot of stuff with me as well, you know, when I go, or I need to buy other stuff like a good laptop or something like that. Because right now I showed you guys before, but when it comes to my streaming setup, for the guys that don't know, I'll show you guys. Let me see. Look, so this is my current trading setup, right? I have 4 screens, a good PC. I have a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff that I have here, and it makes the stream really functional, meaning I can switch everything that I need to switch and look at everything I need to look at. But if I only have one laptop, it's gonna be a bit tough. It's gonna be less comfortable to live stream. My trading view is like 5 minutes behind. And no, that means that you're looking at the wrong symbol. You need to purchase the subscriptions for the CME. It's only €7 a month or something like that. It's not that expensive, but you could also look at NES 100, right? So you could also look at NES 100, and that is simply the same chart. But I'm trading futures. I'm not trading forex, right? But if you want to have similar prices, you should be looking at the CFD version or at a broker version, meaning that you look at any of these, right? I would say Capital is always good, or FXCM is always good to look at. They have pretty good pricings. But that's the difference between forex and futures, right? It's not being translated over one exchange or whatever you want to call it, or data provider. If you want to see gold live, you have to look at it like this, right? Oh, my bad. So gold is the XAUUSD chart by one that you could look at, and they're pretty similar, right? You can see here if I switch back from one to another, they're pretty similar. You see that? So this is gold, right, for the CFD side of things, and this is the futures chart. They are different when it comes to pricing, right? You can see that the pricing is different, but the overall structure is the same. So it's yeah, you could do it this way. How long do you hold a trade, generally speaking? I don't know, bro. there's no fixed time when I hold a position, you know? It's not that I just enter the trade and just let it be for what it is. Yeah, well, I'm letting it run, either break even, stop loss, or take profit most of the time. But let's say price really doesn't go anywhere. Like, I'm not going to suffocate myself by just sticking in a position, at least not watching it, right? Because that's what I would do most of the time when I'm trading, and I wasn't live streaming, of course, beforehand. For the guys that don't know, I streamed in the past a lot. I used to be part of a big company within trading, and I used to go live on YouTube and stuff like that. And eventually, I wanted to go and step away. There was some, you know, that's just how it goes, business, right? And I stepped away, and I wanted to focus on my own trading. And I was like, maybe I should go live again. But when I'm not trading live, when I enter a position, most of the times I just walk away from the computer, because I know that I have no influence on whatever happens after I step away. Or either I watch the chart, me watching the chart, trying to hypnotize price is not going to do anything, right? So I just walk away most of the time. Now, of course, when I take a position, I'll stay live, you know, we chat and stuff like that. But yeah, it depends, bro. There's no fixed times to holding a position at all. Thanks, man. No problem, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. For the guys that are just tuning in, if you enjoy the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly, highly appreciated. And yeah, let's have a look here. What happens here today? Price not really going anywhere as of yet, right? We can see that both MNQ and gold is not doing anything. It might be the case that just within an hour from now, price is going to do actually something, right? We just have to wait patiently. Watching usually, yeah. Watching the charts when you're in a position could definitely be painful, especially if it goes against you and you're trying to talk yourself or trying to say how many times. Let me know in the chat who's actively watching. Press the one in the chat if you're actually like watching actively. Brother, how are you doing? Hopefully you had a nice weekend. Let's grab some new profits this week. Yes, my friend. Yes, let's hope so. Let's hope we're going to get some good trades. All right. So how many times, for the guys that are actively watching, have you said to yourself, oh, I hope this trade comes back and I'll never do it again? All right. And the only problem, the whole causal factor of you saying that is the fact that you're looking at the charts. All right. You're trying to predict where price goes, and you're getting involved in trades and you keep looking at the chart. If you just get your setup, right? And that's why I say maybe avoid the 1 minute, you know? But if you get into your setup, you just let it be and you walk away, because you're not going to do anything, right? Your prayers, I'm telling you guys, the trading gods are not going to listen to you, right? I'm telling you right now. So it's better to take your setup and walk away if you're not mentally capable yet of looking at it when it goes against you. I've been trading for 6 years, guys, right? And I've made a lot, a lot is a big statement, but I made good money and I lost good money trading, right? The first payout that I ever had was with my forex funds. For the guys that don't know it, it's a prop firm from the CFD side of things. They actually froze up. They had a whole lawsuit against them. But my first big payout was $12,000, right? And I put it into a live account and I blew it in a single week, right? And that was me trying to me actually having a luck trading, making a lot of money from a prop firm, and then losing it all the second week. And I was young, guys, right? I was 18 years old, all right? I was 18 years old. So you have to understand that trading, if you it can take everything away from you, like weeks or years in progress. You can blow it in a week. You see what I mean? You can take it all away. So when it comes to trading, And I said it before, the only way to lose money is to get involved, right? And if you look at it constantly, if you're constantly trading, constantly trying to get involved, and you never step away for a moment, yeah, you're gonna get yourself stuck in the same stuff again. Imagine the sleep he had after the day blowing that account. Well, I actually, if I remember back, I was really upset, right? Crying my eyes out, bawling my eyes out, like legit. Like no, like I have no shame in admitting that I cried my eyes out after I blew that account, right? Like it is what it is, right? But I actually slept pretty good because it was over. You see what I mean? I was like, you get in the stage where you say to yourself, oh, I just want it to be over with. And you start trading and you just blow the account. You know that you're going to blow it, right? And it's not happening anymore. But yeah, you know, like it's a tough situation to be in, guys. It's really tough, right? Especially at my age, because $12,000 is still a lot of money. But when I was 18, it was a lot of money, right? Especially when I was 18. $12,000, guys, come on. It's an insane amount of money. What's your payout probability across 10 evaluation accounts? That's a good question. I like that you asked that. There's a guy that actually watches a lot of that. That's G.G. Simons. When it comes to like the probability of getting a payout. But I have a passing rate of around 40%, right? Based on all the evaluations that I did. I have a passing rate of around 40%. And I'm green on almost every prop firm that I've traded with. I'm only not green on Lucid right now, but I'm green on Topstep. I'm green on my futures, my funded futures. I'm green on Top 1. I only had 2 accounts with them, so I was really lucky to get a payout with them. And besides that, who am I red on? FundedNext. I'm red on FundedNext. I never traded with FundedNext ever again, but I'm red on FundedNext. And I'm green on the other firms. And I'm only red on Lucid right now. When it comes to the prop firms. Well, my friend, welcome back. Welcome back to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. So yeah, it's around 40%, my friend, when it comes to passing rate. But it depends also on how you trade, right? Because right now I'm trying to pass this account live by just trading it slowly. But if I full port an account, let's say I full port a couple accounts, and my passing rate could be 5 out of 10, right? Depending on how you trade. If you're lucky, because that's the whole point. It's like you don't know precisely how good your passing rate is because there's an uncertain outcome to trading. Like you know that you have like a 40 to 50% win rate over your strategy, but you don't know whether it's going to be over the next 100 trades or the next 1,000 trades. You see what I mean? So it's a bit of a iffy question. I don't really precisely I can't give you like a complete honest answer, to be honest. Hello from Dubai. Hope you're doing all right. Nice. Welcome back, Thomas. You got a beautiful name there, bro. Why do people use profits for a personal account instead of keeping a live account on the prop firms? Yeah, good question. Good question. I think, yeah, it's a good question, bro. That's a really good question. My personal goal would be to go live in multiple firms. But I feel like it might be, like there's a lot of people out there that they're just full porting, you know? And that's their way of making it work. And they just keep reinvesting a lot of money into sim accounts. Because there's a lot of guys out there that spend $10,000 a month and they make $15,000 back, right? Or $20,000 or whatever. You see what I mean? So they're full porting the account, and when they go live, they lose a lot of their drawdown, and they don't like that. You see what I mean? This might be the case for a lot of people out there. I'm not sure, but I know some people that do it this way. I don't think full porting your funded accounts makes any sense. Personally, because what if you're wrong twice in a row, right? 2 months in a row, right? You're down 20 grand for what? People don't trust prop firms long term. They go bankrupt and rug pull. Yeah, sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say go live with a prop firm, trade it up to $1 million in profit, and then expect it to be taken out, right? Sure. It makes, for me, that's a sensible thing. All right, we just opened a new hour here, guys. Yeah, we're trading up first, but it's still wiki. So we're gonna just wait and see. We're gonna wait and see. So see what happened to Alpha Futures. Yeah, I have no clue on what happened. I never traded with them before, but I know that there's some people that got screwed over. A lot of people actually, which is sad, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, what can I say about it? You know, it's sadly the sad part about it is that this is the game that we're involved in, right?
That's just the shady side of prop firms. You know, there's always a shady side to business like this, but it's also in the broker space, right? Like just brokers in general. It's also a bit shady sometimes, you know. What's good, yo? How you doing, my friend Fizzler? Hope you're doing all right. Alpha Futures lost Tradeovate and Ninja Trader due to non-payments. Yeah, is that the case? They refuse payments? I'm not sure about that, whether or not that is the case. You would assume that the future side is way more regulated. I know they're also on the CFD side. Ja, zeker. Dat zullen we doen. Komt goed, grap. Doen we. What do you think about Alpha Funded? I've never heard of them before, my friend. I've never heard of them before. There's a couple of websites out there. You guys keep asking me whether, also for a lot of guys asking me to say what firm would be ideal to trade with, and I want to not really do that unless I really think that there's a couple out there. Like I think Lucid is really good. Depending on Topstep could be alright as well. They're long in the game. You got Apex. You got a lot of firms out there that actually pay out their clients. But I want to not step into the promoting a firm without really knowing how they are as a company. But what you can do is you can look at, for example, Prop Firm Match. For the guys that never heard of it before, this is a website where you can look at the best prop firms and you can just look at the rules and everything like it. I'm not promoted or sponsored by them to do this stuff, by the way. I'm pretty sure they make a hell of a lot of money, that's for sure. But you can look at this site and look at which one you like for forex and for crypto and whatever. Maybe that's something you could look at when you're looking for a new prop firm, guys. Right? I know some of you guys asked me also in my DMs. I got like 10 DMs asking if I had a code or something like that, so you could use it to support the live stream, which I truly appreciate, by the way. For the guys that reached out, you guys precisely know who you are. I'm not gonna name anyone, but I appreciate that a lot. That's actually really nice of you guys. Maybe in the future I will, when I think that it's favorable for you guys as well, right? I'm not just gonna randomly promote anything unless I think it's also favorable for you guys. Market looks bad. Yeah, the market is not looking all too good for now. We'll see what happens. We're looking for longs lower anyways. So if they break out of this BPR, that would be nice. Can you share your chart setup? Yeah, sure. What do you want to see? They lost Tradeovate and Ninja Trader because they decided to launch their own platform. Yeah, I think a lot of those guys are doing it now. Like you had Topstep leading the game with Topstep X, and now you have TradeC, and you got some other platforms that are being launched. Yeah, a lot of them are doing it. What's a BPR? A BPR is a balanced price range. Cognitive Computing Corner. My friend, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you guys haven't done it already, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. Bro, can you get your TF on the left and right, please? What are you talking about? What do you mean TF? You mean time frame? The time frame is located on the top here, bro. If that's what you're talking about. I'm new to TradingView and trying to set up my chart. Like so. Okay, so for me, I have it like this, right? So I have the bodies is the up bodies are white, and then the rest is black, right? And for the background, it's just a white background, bro. I've removed the vertical and the horizontal grids. I don't really like that, so I've removed those. I don't have the watermark, and yeah, that's how I have it personally, bro. Yeah, I have the time frames are top here, bro. You can see them here. So the 4 hour and the 5 minutes we're currently looking at. Yeah, well, it's breaking out to the downside now, guys, right? So let's see whether or not this is gonna be it. Yeah, let's see what happens here on gold. DXY is moving really high up, but gold's not really following through, which I find interesting. It's a bit of a bad correlation when it comes to the DXY and gold right now. We'll see whether or not this is going to do anything. We'll see whether or not... It could still be the case that DXY actually wants to go lower, all right? And then go higher. And that gold is then going to be aligned, meaning that we're going to re-rate above. We take out London highs, and then we go lower, right? So we're going to wait a little bit, because there's no correlation right now. Oh, this is a bad drawing. boom, boom, boom. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit. NQ gonna manipulate the Asians as London high and then drop. Yeah, let's see if that's the case, bro. I'm actually looking for the longs. I'm preferring longs myself, but I'm looking for longs a little bit lower. Got 170 people watching. You guys are legends. I truly appreciate every single one of you. For the guys that are tuning in on the regular, make sure to smash up the likes. And for the guys that are wondering how I look at the charts, I will show you guys a little video that I've created. Let me know in the chat if you guys like it. I know some of you guys already commented on the video, which I truly, truly appreciate. But if you want to know more about how I look at the charts and how I mark my charts out, it's a free video that I created for you guys. You don't have to pay me anything for it. It's unlisted on YouTube, but I'll share the link with you privately here. So it's about time frame synchronization, right? So it's on what I actually mention about all the time. I'll share it with you guys here in the chat. Here in the chat, you can take a look at it. And maybe you have a little bit of a, you get a little bit of a insight on how I look at the charts on a more deeper level and why I'm looking for longs here and not right now, right? So you have a bit of a understanding. Do you mainly focus on gold? No, I focus on both gold and MNQ. So both on the Nasdaq and on gold. Can 476 good entry price? Well, yeah, I would like to see price to go down there. So I would say depending on whether or not they're gonna react there, that would be that would be something I would be looking for sure. Yes, 100%. We're moving up again though after pressing after tapping London low or London open, which is interesting. We are in premium. Yeah, we are in premium. Yeah, we are in premium. But I'm looking, for me personally, I'm looking all the way up here. Hi, it's me. I'm looking for these highs up here. So I'm for now, when it comes to me, I'm looking for price to go down and then go all the way back higher. Also looking, of course, at the Volks. For looking at the Volks here, I'm looking for price for the Volks to actually continue lower and follow its original trend to the downside. And if that happens, there's a likely chance that we're going to continue higher on MNQ here. So there's some reasoning for it. What does the tattoo say? You mean this one? This is my mom's birthday. It's my mom's birthday. But in Latin. So yeah. So we got on the arm. I have another one, guys. I have one on my ankle as well, but I'm not going to show my feet. I'm not going to do it. But I have one on my ankle as well. And that's for my godmother. It's for my godmother. So I have 3 tattoos in total, guys. I have 3 tattoos in total. Nice. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. All right, let's have a look here, guys. Let's see what's going to happen. I hope price is actually going to do something for us here. That would be nice. I'm looking for price to go lower and then go higher, right? So we're waiting for price to actually go to here, and then we're going to look for the highest continuation play. Let's see if we're looking at the current hour, what's happening. So we're trading below the current hour, which is nice. I would like to see price maybe come back into this hourly for value gap. That would be the ideal situation here. So if we're looking at this, we got a POI for us here to the downside. Let's see if this is the case or not. If they wanna give it to us, that would be nice. I'm gonna mark this out on the chart as well. So yeah, I'm gonna just write it out for you guys. Looking for longs. Looking for longs. All right. Are they okay, or are these tattoos memoriam? Yeah, so my mom is still alive. I'm happy with that. My mom's still alive, but my godmother, she passed away. Yeah, she passed away a long time ago. A couple of years ago, actually. I have another tattoo on my calf about her as well. Another tattoo. Let's see. All right, let's have a look here, guys. When we're selling off pretty drastically here on the S, I would like to see it stay above, but this could be definitely gonna be a divergence play. We're gonna see what happens here. Right, like I said, the shorts are cheap for me. I'm hoping to see 29,500. Yeah, I hope it for you, my friend. I hope you're right on the short play. That would be good for you. That would be nice. Yeah, you could say on the lower time frame that this was a short-term high being created. They rate short-term high, break below it again, and you have your continuation play lower. For sure. Yes, for sure. For sure. Also on the 5 minute, they came back to 2 o'clock. For the guys that don't know, 2 o'clock is an 8-hour open. So you can see how they raid back into 2 and they actually start selling off. Yeah, if you enter around here, if you had an entry around here with your stop around here, it would be a pretty decent play at the moment. It would be a pretty decent play. Did you say you were bullish on gold? No, I'm bearish on gold. No, I'm looking for shorts. But it depends on what's happening here. So it's because I'm looking at the DXY, right? The DXY is currently buying up, but we're not following through to the downside on gold. If the DXY starts selling lower, there's a big chance gold is going to buy itself higher, right? And we would be looking for shorts later on in the day, not now. But yeah, if you took this short, well played. For the guys that actually took that short, congratulations. We got 114 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly, highly appreciated. It does help the live stream a lot for the guys that have been tuning in from on a regular basis right now. That would be highly, highly appreciated. Let's have a look here. So, bro, it's 4 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah. No, what do you mean? You mean the time frames? No, this is the 5 minute and the 1 hour. The 5 minute and the 1 hour, and the 5 minute as well on the right hand side. Right? So that's what we currently have on the chart. Let's see what gold is doing here. Gold is just still stagnating, guys. We're not really doing anything at the moment on gold. Let's see if they want to rate a little bit higher. It would actually be ideal for gold to go a bit higher as well. We're still ranging right now around the monthly open, which is interesting. We just put in a new monthly low, as you guys can see here. So this is the monthly open, right? And we just rated below the open of the month. And we put in the monthly low right here. So let's see if they want to rate it and continue it lower, right? That would be nice. That would be nice. Because you can see it in the past, right? You can see how we opened up. Oh no, it's not the new monthly low actually. I'm lying. This is the current month low. So it's even lower still. Oh, that's actually not that bad. It means that this could be internal draw on liquidity to the downside. We'll see. We'll see what plays out here. Because they're my universe. My father passed 8 years ago, but I've picked up stronger, I think. It's always tough to lose a family member, bro. People go through losses every single day, you know. So it's a sad part about life, but it's also what makes life beautiful, right? The fact you pass on. Because what is the purpose of life if you never go away, right? How would you define your goals if you don't have any time to make them worthwhile? Is the question. My MGC1 chart has a 10-minute delay. Yeah, but this is a separate subscription, my friend. So you need to have 2 subscriptions. This one is for the CME, right? It's something you have to pay for as well. It's a separate one. That one costs you €7 a month or $8 a month, something like that. So it's a separate subscription. It has nothing to do with the TradingView subscription. Let's see what's happening here, guys. I'm just keeping Truth Social as well on my chart here, or on my PC, to look if Trump actually starts tweeting anything as well. It doesn't seem like he's tweeting anything at all at the moment, so that's nice. We'll see whether or not it's going to be the case. Because you can see how he's been talking as well. He's been talking about the Strait of Hormuz a lot again. And you can instantly see it back on the chart, right? You can instantly see it back on the chart. Oh, look. So we actually rated back into London Open again. And we're moving all the way up again. That's interesting. That's really interesting here, guys. Gold had a short-term rally. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. When are you looking to execute a trade? Yeah, when the market tells me to execute, bro. I have some levels in mind, right? So I have a level down here for the longs. And I'm looking for shorts higher up on gold. So for now, I'm not trading. No way to enter a trade. I would strongly suggest to make no moves before the news. It's simply accumulating. New extension open will be very interesting to see. Yeah, let's see if that's the case, my friend. Let's see if that's the case. I'm looking for a move just before the news to see whether or not they want to manipulate before the news actually comes out. And if not, then we wait and see if we can get a move still after the news. But for now, I'm just waiting. Right now, they're indeed accumulating, right? But it could just be that there's going to be a random minute right now coming up soon. That price just rates it all the way down. We get our entry model, and the news is going to be the continuation driver, right? Meaning that they want to manipulate everyone into thinking it's a short before the news, which it then be a long. Or it's going to be the opposite way, of course, right? Stop me out. You mean on gold or on M&Q? Oh yeah, you had the short term. You were looking on the short here. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a tricky situation here, guys. Yeah, we got CPI news coming out in about an hour from now, an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know. I have a feeling gold will jump before the new 470 for liquidity. You're looking for longs already on gold. I'm still looking for shorts personally. Whether or not they want to take these highs out before going down is a big question. Like, I don't want to try and predict and get involved during the news, but we'll see whether or not this is going to be the case. Let's see. They're rating up higher now. Hi, it's me. If they take the highs, you were 100% right, my friend. Let's have a look here, guys. Let's have a look. We're rating up at the moment. We're still, as you guys can see here on the chart, we're still not doing anything at all, right? So we're still going up, down, up, down. We did take some liquidity now to the downside, but there's still relative equal lows to the downside. Some low resistance liquidity resting here. I have some low resistance liquidity resting here. So it could go either way. It could go either way. But I would like to see them still go down before they go up. That would be nice. But it doesn't mean that, let's say they go up first and then they go down. It doesn't mean the longs aren't valid anymore, guys, right? It doesn't mean that they're are no longer valid. What are your thoughts on trading with Topstep? Do you like them overall? Yeah, I've traded with them in the past. I stopped trading them because the price in relationship to what you get back is way lower than, for example, Lucid. But yeah, they're overall good. I'm green with Topstep overall. I became pretty good green like 2-3 months ago. Before I before I went to Egypt, I took home $17,000. So that was nice. But then they had the rule change. So now what the thing is with the rule change that they have now is that you can't take out a certain amount anymore. Like beforehand, you were allowed to take up to $5,000. Now you're only allowed to take up to $2,000, which is not unreasonable because most other firms do that as well. But the cost is way heavier. They charge 21% VAT tax as well, right? So there's a lot of tax coming into play with them. And now it's like $122 or something, or $130 for a 50K account, right? Which is pretty expensive. So I think Topstep is still good. I don't think Topstep is bad at all, to be honest. I think they're good. But you just have to look at, like I've shared with you guys before, you have Prop Firm Match. So you can look at Prop Firm Match. Prop Firm Match is a really good website to look at all the challenges and stuff, right? So you can just, oh, that was not the idea here. You can just look at the website and you can define, or you can look at which one you like the most. I don't have a personal code with any of them. I know you guys asked me before, and I really appreciate for every single one of you guys. You know it in the chat if you were the guy, yes or no, that wanted to use the code. I appreciate it a lot, but I don't have any codes right now with any prop firm whatsoever, and I'm not promoting any one of them either. So yeah, you can just look at the website, see what you like the most, see what rules benefit you, and make sure you do your research. You know, don't randomly enter a prop firm, because you never know what happens, guys. You never know what happens, right? Who is still actively watching? Let me know in the chat. We got 130 people watching. Let me know in the chat if you're actively watching. If you enjoy the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. Waiting for you to get a code. They're usually very fast to notice a good streamer. Hey, my friend, I appreciate that, man. I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much that you want to support the live stream. I'm here. Nice. DB Plumbing. Nice. My friend, hope you're doing all right. I'm listening to you. Nice. You guys are still here actively watching. Man, you guys are legends. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. I've actually said it before. I will start creating a community soon. You know, create our own little maybe Discord community or whatever, where we can also look at the charts, chat about the charts and stuff like that during when I'm not live. You know, it's easier to not make dumb trades. Yeah. Prop firms are simply a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, well, yeah, you could say that. You know. You could say that, but they also have the live pod, right? So eventually people are being called up to live, meaning that you're actually trading live funds. Are you going to stay till CPI? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We're going to stay for around 3 hours, you know? Thank you so much for the info. I really appreciate your knowledge. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem, my friend. If you have any questions, if I can answer them, I will, you know? If I can't answer them, I can't help you, but there's a lot of free information out there. I went through most of it, so if you seek anything at all, don't mind asking. I probably have a source for it. Ponzi with an edge. Yeah, you could say that, yeah. All right, let's see. So we just rated above 6 o'clock here. Let's see if they want to go down from here or they actually want to go higher a little bit. When it comes to the DXY is moving down. Question is, do they want to go and actually move higher from here? We just opened the new hour, of course, like 20 minutes ago. So let's see if they want to move higher on DXY, meaning that we want to move lower on gold. That's a big question. TG Tricky Kingston. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I highly appreciate it. What's your general trading strategy? I have a free video that I've unlisted on YouTube. I'll share it with you. So it's this video. If it wants to load. Yeah, all right. So this is a video that I've created. It's time frame synchronization. This is how I look at the charts. It's an unlisted video, guys, right? So for the guys that want to watch the video, make sure to click the link in the chat right now, because that's the only way you can see it. It's not on my actual YouTube channel, but this is where I explain how I look at the charts. It's not a complete strategy. It's more like an understanding of the market. And what more ideal is to look at entry, where you can look for your exact model, you know, of entry and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe have a look at that video and let me know if you like it, yes or no. I think it's a good video. Can you explain CPI? For example, if it's low, high, slow, what do you mean? Could you elaborate a little bit more on what you are asking me? Do you know what affects the VOX? What do you mean? What affects the VOX? You mean what the VOX is made out of? I've shared it with you guys before. I have a Investopedia, so you can look at it and read the article completely. But it's basically buying and selling pressure, and the VIX also has so it's like a fear index for some people. But you can look at it. It's you can look at it and read it. You have a complete understanding of what the VIX actually means. Whether you need to understand it completely is a big question. I use it for technical purposes, but I do have an understanding of what it means, right? I'm not a financial or an economist or anything like it, guys, right? So I have no degree in finance, so I don't understand everything. But when it comes to the technical side of things, I definitely know it has an influence. NQ is preparing for the liftoff. The VIX is building a short breakout range. Yeah, I think you're right. When it comes to the VIX right now, it's definitely starting to break out here. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Whether or not we can actually get involved right now is the big question. We rated it down once again, and now we're moving it higher. It's an interesting market, guys. When I'm looking at the higher or even the lower time frame, for me, there's no way here to get involved, right? It's impossible here to get involved. So either we have to wait for the next hour to open up, and we look for the hourly continuation play, or I'm still waiting for price to go down before it goes higher. Holy gold. What's gold doing? Gold actually moved higher. All right, let's see. That's not a bad thing. We're moving down on the DXY, so that's good. NQ is breaking out, most definitely. For the guys that took this long, well played. I'm not involved, personally. I'm not involved. We'll see what happens here, though. Let's see on the half an hour. Yeah, I still think that they could go down before they go higher, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see how the new half an hour opens up here. This could be a sweep of liquidity to go lower, sweep the liquidity on the downside, and then go higher. I'm planning to switch to futures prop trading from CFD. I'm trading mostly on the 1 to 5 minute time frame, and these spreads on the CFD most prop firms and delays on order executions are just too much of frustration. Now I understand, bro. Also, when it comes to like trading the future side of things, the entry cost is way lower than if you're trading on the CFD platform, guys. All right. So for the guys that are trading prop firms on the forex side of things, when you're buying a 50k account, it's costing you probably around 350 euros. And when you're trading it on the futures side of things, it could cost you just as low as 20 bucks to get a 50k account, right? But you also have an activation fee afterwards, meaning that you have to pay when you pass. But that's not really a problem, right? Because when you pay when you pass means you actually pass the account and you're getting into a funded account. So that's why I think futures is pretty... it's a good way of learning. You have more shots at it. But you also have to, of course, understand that if you're trading on the future side of things, that's way easier for you to spend money. And the goal is not to spend more money, right? So you can... that's not the goal here, right? So when you're using futures, make sure you also keep in mind that even though it's cheaper, the goal is not to try it 20 times or 40 times, whatever, right? I think I'm going to put that sell limit. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I'm still waiting, personally. I would like to see them trade below 6 before I get involved in the longs here. But I like it for now. I do like it. When it comes to MNQ, I'm still a bit skeptic. I see that we're breaking out here on the VIX, so that's nice. Let's see whether or not there's going to be a valid breakout to the downside. And this wants to continue lower. If that's the case, I will be looking for price to go down a little bit again up here and then look for the continuation play. But the news could do everything the other way again, right? The news could come out and could sink all the way down and then go higher again. But if this wants to continue, these highs would be something to target, right? For MNQ here. So we're gonna see what happens here in the next half an hour. And when it comes to gold, same scenario here for gold, right? We're gonna just wait and see whether or not this is gonna be valid. We're pulling back down on the DXY. The question is, are we gonna pull back into the range and then go higher? Or are we gonna pull back all the way down into the gap and then go higher, right? That's the big question I have right now when it comes to gold. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, my friend. We got 134 people watching, guys. If you enjoyed the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly, highly appreciated. Gold is definitely preparing for a short. Yeah, I agree, my friend. I think gold just manipulated higher. Yeah, I'm looking for the shorts myself, but it really depends on what the dollar is doing here. I do like the formation of the dollar at the moment. The question is, are we going to respect the wick down to go higher? Meaning that we're just trading back into the range to move higher again is the big question here. That's the big question. It does look good though. It is looking good. We'll see. We'll see whether or not this is the case. If they trade back below 6, I would be interested in looking for potential setups here. So I'll put an alert down at 6 o'clock. And when it comes to MNQ, yeah, we're going to look and see what happens once they pull back. I don't know if they want to pull back all the way into 6, but we'll see whether or not this is going to be the case or not. I'm long gold and cooked. Oh, no. Where did you long gold, my friend? If you longed it somewhere down here, you could still go higher. Just follow your strategy, bro. You know, follow your strategy. You might be completely right on the longs here on gold, my friend. 5 hours ago. But if you entered 5 hours ago, you should be green. Or, no, I'm lying. No, you're not green. Wait. So you're still in the trade, right? If you entered 5 hours ago. Gold should sweep the 1 hour fractal at 440 first before going down. Yeah, but you don't know. It might want to do that. That's the beautiful thing about trading, guys. I've said it like 100 times, and I keep referring back to it because I need to keep it in my own mind. It doesn't have to do anything at all. That's the beautiful thing about trading, right? It could also go down from here, and it just says I don't want to take the highs again. I just want to go down from here, right? I want to create a lower high and go. And that's why trading is so special. Trading is such a special art, is that you can't actually you can't ever know whether or not it wants to do something. You can't ever know. Let's see. Oh, sorry for not responding to the question. Do you believe in the strategy people use to pass prop firms using CPI by putting longs and shorts in 30 points above or 30 points below the opening price? Yeah, sure, it works, you know? Like, it always, like, it's not, I'm not saying it doesn't work or, yeah. The question is, you gotta ask yourself, right? Do you wanna put on bad habits? Because that's what you do by full porting CPI, right? And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I truly believe that it works if you already have capital to put up front to do something like that, right? I think I've said it before and I will say it again. Money will find you once you become a good trader, guys, right? I'm telling you right now, money will find you if you become a good trader. You see what I mean? And I've repeated it a couple of times now. There's some other guys in the prop firm or in the trading space, they're not in the prop firm space as far as I know, that also repeated this. And I found it funny that they said it. But money will find you, guys. And it's with anything. Any skill that you pursue in life, anything you want to master, you will find money. Money will find you, basically, right? And it's the same with trading. So meaning that you could be saying to yourself, I'm only going to trade 2 micros. I'm not going to try and full port the account. I'm not going to try and pass it instantly like everyone else. Because we know that 90% of people are losing money, right? So why would we follow the 90%? Instead, you're trying to really become a good trader. You trade 1 or 2 micros. You're not, emotionally involved in this instance. You're only using 20 or 30 bucks to buy the account. And you're trying to really become a good trader. Once you understand how trading works, people are going to... Like, there's people that want to invest money into you if you really can make a profitable return, based on what the market is doing, right? Like, money will find you, guys, but you just have to become a good trader. It's just how it is. I blew my last challenge on FOMC when I saw the big move wanted to be a part of it. I got stopped out on the longs and the shorts as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Trading is a hard game, and there's a lot of people out there that also then, what I found frustrating. That's why I also refuse to look at Instagram a lot. But there's some guys out there, and then you lose your account. Let's say the news was like untradeable price action. Anyone knows it's untradeable, right? Anyone knows it's untradeable. But for some reason, some random guy on the other side of the planet matches to get that 1 to 5R or whatever, or 1 to 20R trade, and you already know you can say to yourself that he didn't take it, right? You can say that to yourself, but you're still gonna be upset the fact that he made that money, even though it's unlogical as hell, right? And he might have blew like 3 accounts before taking that trade or whatever. But it's like, you just have to, focus on you, guys. Focus on you. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. I really appreciate that. Actually missed the name. I think it was PhD. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I highly appreciate it. The question is how and when. What are you referring to, my friend? Sunda, what are you referring to? How and when? How and when what? All right, we're selling off again on the Nasdaq here. Let's see if they come back and see if they want to give it to us. We're buying higher and higher on gold. It's not a problem here, guys. We're looking for shorts. If they want to do it way higher, it's also not a problem. We're going to put an alert here. See whether or not they want to do that. The news is going to come out in an hour from now. Let's see what happens here. Make money, follow us. Well, I think anyone that's been trading for a longer period of time, at least that's my opinion, money flows in naturally once you start making good trades, right? If you're only in it for the money, and I was in it for the money, and I'm still in it for the money to a degree, but I'm also in it now because I really enjoy trading, right? And I like to make good trades. I like to read price and try to understand what it's doing. Money comes naturally with making good positions, right? And losing money is part of the game. You can't win every trade. You have to put on money to make money. It's in any business, guys, right? Like if you're starting your own clothing brand, You have to pay for advertisements, right? You have refunds. You have a lot of stuff that comes into play. It's costing you money to make money. It's the same in trading. But we have some belief, or that's being persuaded to us, is that trading is such an easy thing and you should always make money. And because there's a lot of people out there faking it, right? They're faking it. They're showing you only the wins. They're not showing you that they're losing money to make money, right? And because we're so involved in that social media type situation, right, where everyone is trying to make it seem like trading is like a fantastic job and everyone succeeds, you know, you blame yourself when you're losing money, right? And you're gonna reflect on other people on what you're doing yourself, and that's the hard part about trading, right? And if you're climbing the ladder, think about the ladder theory, right? You're climbing the ladder. If you're looking up, right? You're continuously looking up, and there's people always above you. But if you look to the downside, you can actually see how many steps you already took to becoming where you are, right? So you have to reflect on you, and you don't reflect on what everyone else is doing. And you find someone that you like to stick around with or whatever, right? Someone that you think is a valuable person or valuable trader in your life, and you just focus on you and start making bank eventually once you actually start becoming a good trader, and you start thinking logically, right? You're not like expecting to make $100 million with a 50K funded sim account, right? But because if you think about it, it's not reasonable, right? It's not reasonable. But it doesn't mean that you can't use prop firms to get yourself some capital to then start actually investing in your own account, start making money this way, and you get connected to other people that have been trading for a longer period of time, and then there's gonna be a guy that says, yo, I'll give you $10,000. You trade for me for X amount of period of time. You show me that you know what you're talking about, and we can rediscuss, right? And he might just say to you, yo, I give you $2 million to trade with. You get 30% of whatever you make. We have a hard stop on 20%, meaning that you can't lose more than 20% of the account, and you start trading for someone else. It works out, you know, you're a good trader, you know what you're doing, and that's how it goes, you know? What prop firm doesn't have a consistency rule? What, in the funded states or in the, like, why? Consistency rule is in how much, because most of them, as far as I know, have them. But you have Topstep, for example, they don't have one, but it depends on the plan that you choose as well. But I don't think the consistency rule is a bad thing, though. Catherine, I don't think it's a bad thing. On the funded, so Lucid doesn't have a consistency rule on the funded accounts, but they do have it in the eval stage. But you can read through the rules. Like you can look at it here. I actually talked about this website before. There's a website here, and you can look at which ones you like, you know, and then you look into the rules, and then they show you whether or not they. It's called prop firm match. Yeah, Lucid Flex indeed. I'm using those as well. FTMO only 50%. Yeah, I don't think personally that you have to full board the account, you know. Why don't you do options? Options is a dangerous market, bro. First time here, good to talk. Thank you. Welcome to the live stream, Elona. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing all right. Watching from the Philippines. Nice. Welcome to tuning in. Let me know where you guys are from. We just had a lot of new people I see tuning into the live stream. We got 130 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. And let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'm from Amsterdam. I'm 23 years old for the guys that are wondering. And I've been trading for over 6 years now. For the guys that don't see it, I've been losing hair. But it's all right. It's part of the game. Ireland, Macedonia. Oh, really? Actually, welcome to the live stream. That's sick. That's amazing. I'm actually almost finished with reading the book from Alexander the Great. I read around when I have the time for it. I read a book per week at least. And Alexander the Great was also Macedonian, right? That's interesting. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. That's interesting. From Paris. Oh, nice. Welcome. How do you say that? Merci beaucoup, or whatever you say. I don't even know how you say it, to be honest. Let's see. Please tell us why options is dangerous. I was thinking of paper trading to see how it works. Your advice will be appreciated. Well, it depends on how you're buying options, right? But you can get yourself into like options trading. It depends on the size that you're using. You can go up 200,000 and down 200,000 in like it's just yeah, it's volatile, right? It depends also on how you're trading it. You can also just buy some puts and some calls and just do it that way for a longer term horizon. But yeah, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, in the US. Nice, welcome. Nice. My stepmother is from the US as well. In Switzerland, you can sell options also. Yeah, you can also sell options. Yeah. Palestine, welcome to the live stream. I have a Holo Prime 50k funded account direct. I can't make payouts because of the consistency rule. I've never heard of Holo Prime before, my friend. I'm sorry, I have no idea. I'm from Kenya. Welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Alexander the Great, always problems between us and the Greeks about where he's from. Yeah, I know he's from. I know he's from Macedonia, right? His father was King Philip, and they were Macedonian for sure, 100%. I know that's for sure. But yeah, Alexander the Great is an interesting for the guys that actually like history or you like conquerors. I've read them all, right? Napoleon, Caesar. I read all of them. I think they're all really interesting. I think just imagine, guys, right? Nothing is happening right now. We're waiting for a potential setup here, but just imagine walking down a field, right, with your lads. You're on horses, right? Horses. You're riding down a field, or you're walking down a field. You have a sword in your belt, right? And you're screaming songs with 40,000 men trying to conquer other nations. You know how crazy that is if you think about it, right? So we went from conquering other nations to now chatting with each other on a live stream, looking at the charts, trying to trade candlesticks. You know how crazy that is. We're talking about maybe a couple thousand years in total. So it's crazy how far we came as humanity. That's crazy. South Africa in the chat. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Consumer prices won't have a big difference. I think it will remain at 3.8% as the forecast on gold. Could shoot up. What I think. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look, my friend. I'm looking at a couple of other factors here as well. It really depends on whether or not we want to move higher here for continue the trend higher on oil. But you might be right. You might be right. We'll see whether or not this is the case. If we want to continue higher here, that should be a pretty reasonable location for price to continue higher here on oil. And this means that we could look for short potentials here on gold when we're looking at the geopolitical news and stuff like that and the correlations between both assets. And it comes also to the dollar for me, right? If the dollar wants to move higher again from here, this means for me that gold wants to go down. But you might be right. If it's going to be bearish news for the dollar or stagnating news, that there's not going to be enough driving power, we might want to seek lower again first. We'll see. We'll see what happens here, bro. Yeah, we're fighting the doji stick scandals. Yeah, it's crazy, right? If you think about it. All right. And when it comes to, yeah, we're going to wait a little bit here for MNQ. I'm still not liking the structure overall. If they want to go up, it would be somewhere from down here between this 2 times. I would wait for them to come back down here and see whether or not they want to do it. I'll give it a different color just for the sake of it. And now we're learning to conquer the self. You're right. You're right. 100%. You're 100%. I've read so many books about the self and the, everything around it, self-belief. I think I've read over, now in total, probably 60 books. Probably something like that. A lot of books, actually. He's one of the greatest warriors of all time. Watch the movie. It's a nice one. Yeah, I will sure do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Now the book is amazing. Don't tell me you read it too on the toilet. No, I don't read it on the toilet. No. I actually take a part out of my day where I just decide to read. You know, I either read in the sun or I just read on the couch or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that I read, guys, right? Like, if you would ask me when I was 15 years old that I would be reading Plato, I would look at you like you're some buffoon, right? But no, I actually, trading did a lot of good things for me, guys. I think it can do the same for you if you're willing to go through it. But trading did everything for me. I started reading about Friedrich Nietzsche on a Saturday night instead of going to the club because I was trying to understand what was everything around me, get different perspectives on lives, guys, right? I think that's learning, getting different perspectives, seeing how the world is through someone else's eyes, so you can understand other people. That can be beneficial if you want to use it against them, but I don't think that's a good thing. But just understanding other people is a way of learning how to live life, you know? Find a new alternative with trading in funded accounts. You want to find a new alternative, or do I need to find a new alternative? Nietzsche is good, but also wrong on many levels. Yeah, but that's a good question, right? I'm gonna ask you this: what is right and what is wrong? What is right and what is wrong? Because me saying something is wrong could be completely right in someone else's eyes, right? Because I could ask you this, right? Killing a butterfly is wrong, but if you kill a spider, for some people it's right. You see what I mean? In the end, it's both an animal, and you killing it. The only reason we don't want to kill a butterfly is because it's persuaded as a good thing when we're being taught about it, right? You see what I mean? So in the end, it's like, yeah. Streams turned philosophical, loving the style. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. All right, we can see that price actually rated the low. It's breaking higher now, so we're getting a 1 minute entry model here. We got a new 10-minute candle coming in soon as well. Let's have a look here. Let's see what happens here. We're getting an entry model for the long continuation play. Let's have a look whether or not this is going to be valid. Actually rated it down. It's a bit of a tough spot though. It's a bit of a tough spot. We're all the way high up in the candle, which I don't really prefer to trade. I would like to see it come down lower towards here before I would be looking for entries. Towards this level. I'm new to trading with funded accounts, so I'm trying to learn from your excellent broadcast. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment. When it comes to funded accounts, there's a lot of videos out there on how funded accounts work. But in the simple terms, you're just buying an account. You're buying back drawdown, right? Meaning that if let's say I spend $50 on an account, I buy back 2,000 in drawdown, right? But with the 2,000 in drawdown that I also get a challenge, meaning that I have to go through a certain phase of requirements before I'm allowed to actually trade with that capital. It's still not actual money, right? It's still not. It's still sim funded money. But once you pass the challenge, you're allowed to trade with the 2,000 in drawdown, and then you have another challenge that you go through. But then you're allowed to take out a certain amount of money, right? So that's how you need to look at it. So whenever you spend money, you need to ask yourself, how much am I buying back with the money that I'm spending? I got 3K yesterday in a sell. I was selling from 41,888 to 4,000 10 days trade. That's nice. Today I got 3 scalp sells. Nice. 10 days trade is nice. Well played. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit longer here, guys. I'm going to wait for the new hour to open up. Let's see. We got 134 people watching. You guys are legends. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoy the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. Make sure to smash up the likes. $9,000 IQ, Thomas. Yeah, no, not really. Not really, bro. Right for the lying is a wrong for Giselle. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's like we're demons. We're demons to animals. You see what I'm saying? Because we decide whether or not they're gonna live or die. They don't have the conscious to understand that. But yeah, it's once you understand, once you start thinking about a lot of stuff, yeah, you know, you see why we as human beings are the most dangerous species on this earth. We could make the most beautiful things, but we're also the most dangerous alive beings on the planet. Are you vegan? No, hell no. 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 I do eat meat for sure. Yeah. Because we need meat to survive, my friend, right? There's a lot of nutrients that you get out of meat. You know, it's just how it is. And you sure you can get also nutrients out of vegetables and stuff like that. And I know there's a lot of people that might say, yeah, but look at gorillas and look at elephants, they're strong. Yeah, but they got a whole different system in their body, right? Like they have a whole different system in their body. If like a cow, I can assure you that if I fight a cow, that the cow is stronger than me, right? But a cow re-eats the grass 20 times before it actually uses it and digests it in its system, and we are not capable of doing so. Before anyone's gonna start a discussion, I don't want to start a discussion about it. I'm just saying. But yeah, just, you know, do whatever you think is the best, you know. But it's not. I don't. When I buy meat, I buy good meat. Yeah. So. Could you please point out the accumulation, manipulation, distribution during the new 1 hour candle? It would be great to see it in real time. Thanks. Yeah, well, so the whole the power of 3, the accumulation, manipulation, distribution is just the concept of itself, right? So you could say in this instance that this is the accumulation, this is the manipulation, and the distribution is going to be going down. You see what I mean? So that's why we have to wait and see whether or not this is going to be the case. When it comes to just a new hour, when a new hour opens up, you would look for price to go down, show you an entry model, and then go higher, right? And that would be just your power of 3, but not really your power of 3, it's just a candle creation, because it doesn't have to be accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's just the creation of the candle. No, yeah. No. I don't say that we are demons, but to animals we are demons, right? To the animals we are, as in the sense that if they had a conscious mind to have their opinion regarding our doing, they would think we're the devil, because we decide whether or not they live or die, right? It's in our hands. What do you mean by an entry model? Entry model is simply stating in how do you look at the market and how do you enter the market, right? Meaning that you could see price coming down and you could just enter here, right? But you could also wait for the entry model, meaning that you see price respecting the zone and then you get involved. I'm learning to ride the 1 hour instead of fighting it. Yeah. Now, I think the most important thing, guys, that the location of where you're getting involved is one of the most important things, right? That's the most important thing, is the location of your entry. Meaning that you can get involved in the top of the hour, but this means that there's a big chance they're still going to seek lower before they go higher. And you're fighting the hourly because your stop is going to be way bigger than you want it to be. Or you get involved in the bottom wick of the hour. And if you're done right, you have a really fast way of putting your stops to break even and protect yourself. End of the rant. Yeah. Where would I put the stop? Yeah, the stop is, so in this instance, let's say we would enter on the new hour and we're looking for price to come down. The most ideal stop loss would be below 6, right? But that instantly also changes the risk to reward ratio. Because if I enter here and I put my stop all the way down here, I have to target way higher to get that 1 to 2 hour return, which is, if you're right on the market, sure, it might play out, right? But the further you target away, the less likely it might play out, right? If, let's say, price comes down and they rate higher and they show us displacement, we can enter again, but put our stop below the current hourly low, and then look higher, and instantly our reward increases to 4 hour return. You see? What are the news? Yeah, we have the CPI coming out. The consumer price index is going to come out. So you can see it here, right? So we have on Forex Factory, I use to see the news. So yeah, it's just about food and anything and everything that's being consumed by everyday folks and stuff like that. And they just have a calculation on it. What's up, brother? Beef. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing good as well. For the guys that just tuned in, if you enjoy the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly, highly appreciated. Hey, Thomas, trading aside, we really like chatting with you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. All right, we're still trading up and down when it comes to gold. Let's see if we want to break out and go down, or this is actually going to break the breakout and we're going to move higher. We just stepped into the gap. You guys remember what I said about the gap? So we just stepped into the gap, which I like. Let's see if they actually want to move down now, or they want to move higher. We're going to see what happens here. This is the gap we were looking for the DXY to actually go the opposite way. So I'm going to see what happens from this level right now. This is what we were looking for since the beginning of the live stream, if you guys remember. So I'm going to see what happens here, and whether or not it wants to do what we're looking for it to do. And we might just have to wait for the actual setup lower on MNQ. We're going to see what happens here in the next hour. I'm still a bit skeptic because the liquidity is too clean here. So it seems like this is a sweep of the liquidity of the top, and then they sweep the bottom, and then they actually continue their actual move to the upside. But we're gonna see what happens here, because we're also not breaking lower on the VIX, right? So we're actually having a divergence between the VIX and the Nasdaq at the moment, which is interesting, right? So you can see that we have a bullish divergence for the VIX, or you could say a bearish divergence or whatever for the Nasdaq, meaning that they did not take the low, right? Opposing, same to, you see that on MNQ, you guys see that? Meaning this could be a rate of liquidity to go the other way. Will the CBI data have a big effect on gold? It could definitely have a big effect on gold, because it affects the dollar, right? And we're using the dollar to determine gold prices to a degree. So this means that if the dollar is going to rise drastically because of the news, this could definitely seek. This means that gold could go lower. Good place to short and Q. Yeah, I agree. I think it has some potential here. I'm gonna wait for a new hour. If the VIX wants to move higher from here, we might look for a short down to take these lows on MNQ. We can see how we're trading up, down. We couldn't break it. We're gonna see what happens here. I might be tempted to look for a short down from here after we rate the liquidity up, like this, and then seek for it to go lower below current London open low. You're a man? Who, me? No, bro. I'm a guy, but I thank you for asking. I know it's 2026, but a good place to short and Q. Yeah, I already said that. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. All right, we're breaking out higher as well on gold. We're still not really breaking lower on the DXY. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Who is still actively watching? We still got 140 people in the chat. Make sure to smash up the likes if you enjoy the live stream. Let me know in the chat if you're still actively watching. Why do you have the camera placed over you? You mean above? I don't really have any room to put it anywhere else. Because I have two screens on top of each other, right? And I have screens on the side, but if I put it on the side, it doesn't work with the lighting. I have windows in my room that then probably mess up the lighting. But I'll consider, if you want to see me from the side angle, I might consider putting it on the side. Yeah, you guys can look at my forehead. You can see that I'm losing hair, so you know that I'm actually trading. I'm not so tall, so it's a new experience. These guys are being silly. Yeah, they're just messing about. It's okay though. It's not a problem. I like it. You know, a little bit of banter is always good. A little bit of banter is always good. All right, let's have a look. We got a new hourly that just opened up here. Let's have a look what happens here, guys. I'm gonna just mark it out. This is our current 8 o'clock candle. So this is 8. Let's have a look what happens here. Let's put this out here as well. So a bit of an understanding. If we're gonna trade above it or below it, it's gonna be the big question. Come on, man, hair joke. How tall are you? I'm 185. I'm 185. What's your P&L looking like for the month so far? In total? Bro, good question, man. I requested 2 weeks ago $3,000 from my funded futures. So for now, I don't have any payouts ready or set or whatever. 185. No. 185 centimeters. So 1 meter and 85 centimeters. I got it. No. I got it already. No. I got it. Yeah. No, but I haven't took any payouts since then. So I've been dry of payouts. But right now we're trading the P&L on this account. It's looking okay. Like this one. Let's see. This one is at 400. I had a loss on Friday on this account. And the other account I made a win. So this one is at 400 and the other account is like 800 or something like that. But still challenge, right? Alright, we're selling it off pretty drastically here. Let's see if we can get involved here. That would be nice. But otherwise, we will just have to wait for the longs from down here. Yeah, I'm 6'1" in foot or feet. Where the most Dutch folks are tall, guys. It's pretty common here. I'm short for most people here, to be honest. 6'7", yeah. We got news in half an hour. Yeah, we got news coming up in half an hour, yeah. So if you want to get involved, you have to get involved around now. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit tough. But I'm still looking for these lows to be taken here. At 6'1", yeah. Especially here is like, there's the guys that are like 190, 195, 2 meters. That's pretty common here, guys. I'm pretty short. Like what? Like let me see. What is the average length of a Dutch person? Let's have a look. Yeah, so the average length of a... Oh, we just crossed higher on gold. All right, let's see what happens here on gold. Are we selling through on... Now we're still holding on the same level on oil, which is nice. So we just rated London highs. Let's have a look here what happens here, guys. So the average length of a Dutch person is yeah, it's 6 feet, guys, right? You see, I'm just average. I'm just average. So 6 feet is the average. Chris Cho, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. You ain't even short. No, yeah. No, I'm not saying I'm short, but that's the average length for the Dutch folks, right? Meaning that in comparison to just other Dutch people, I'm just average. But there's a lot of people that are really long here, guys. Long people here. Can this be a sweep on liquidity on gold? Yeah, that's what I'm preferring. I'm preferring for the sweep of liquidity here. All right, so we're trading back below the current hourly open here. All right, let's have a look. All right, I'm going to open gold. I'm going to look for a sell setup here, guys, on gold. Waiting for this 5 minute to close. And then I'll enter on the current hourly open. With a stop above the hour high. All right, the hour is closing. All right, so I have a sell limit set at the current hourly open. Make sure to manage your risk, guys. We just swept the liquidity. I'm looking for a price to continue to the downside here. So if they tag me in on the current hourly open, that would be nice. I hope so. If they instantly start breaking, that would be a bit sad. Yo, Thomas, hope you're doing good. Take note. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Let's see if they want to give it to us. But this is the current setup that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the shorts here on gold. Stop is above the current high. And we're targeting back to 2R, right? So we're targeting it back down into the current trading range. If they want to give us the entry, maybe potentially we could just trade it back to 6 o'clock open. But I think this could be a bigger trade, right? I think this could be all the way down here. We're going to see if they want to tag us in, the yes or the no. My entry price is going to be at the current hourly open. So that's going to be 38.2-ish, around that level. Maybe just around 38. But that's the entry level. I hope they're going to give it to us, because they could also go from here. But it instantly would decrease the sizing for the trade massively. So I have to enter it a little bit higher. Because you can see the difference, right? It's like instantly we're talking about 1 R difference. So I need to enter it here. Let's see if this is the case. And when it comes to MNQ, yeah, we missed MNQ. We couldn't get involved here. They never came back, I think. Yeah, they came back here, but yeah, it's a bit of a tough spot to be in. We got 24 minutes left for the news to come out. So make sure to be aware of that. $185 is basically a giant in the Asia. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah. How do you tell it's a liquidity sweep or just pushing further? Yeah, it's a good question, bro. You don't really know it till after the fact most of the times, right? But the reason why I think this is a liquidity sweep is in relationship to the other opposing assets. So meaning that I'm looking at oil and I'm looking at dollar, right? And both dollar and oil are the level where they could actually go higher from. Meaning that I think this is a valid liquidity sweep of the current high to go lower. Because I'm using the opposing assets, right? If I just looked at gold alone, it's a bit of a tough one to read. You're serious? I hope they're gonna still come back higher, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not it's gonna be the case. All right, the next 15 minutes could provide us a short entry here for the Nasdaq. We do have news coming out, so if this is this has to instantly move away from us if we want to get involved here. But this would be the setup for me on the Nasdaq. Let's see if we're gonna get involved here on gold. It would be nice if they want to come back higher. If the news comes out and we're not involved yet, I'm of course gonna take the setup out. But yeah, we'll see. Are you trading gold with a prop? Yeah, I'm trading gold with a prop right now. Yes. Let's see. So when it comes to Nasdaq, I'm still looking for longs, but I do like this overall scenario here. We're waiting for the next 5 minutes to open up to see whether or not this new 5 could potentially push higher and then continue lower. And when it comes to gold, I'm preferring the shorts, but I feel like we just got left out with just 4 points here. That's a bit upsetting. If that's the case, it's a bit upsetting here. We'll see. You didn't want short. No, I didn't. They didn't tag me in, bro. They didn't tag me in. You can see it here on the right. You see it, right? Like they didn't tag me in by what is it? 4 ticks. It is what it is, though. Yeah, gold is dumping. I see it, guys. I see it. You don't have to tell me. It's running away without me. It's part of the game, though. But let's see if the DXY wants to break out for the guys that are in the shorts on gold. This would be nice for you if they break above 6 o'clock. When we're looking at oil is breaking out pretty good here, right? So that's beneficial. So that's nice. But we're still looking for a potential trade here on MNQ. And this could still come back before it goes, right? So this could still come back before it goes. It might not do it, but I hope it does. Because if I can't enter down here, it's impossible. If I enter down here, I'm reducing my risk to reward ratio drastically. Gold is the dump. I've insider trading. Nice. Are you long on oil with the war news? No, I'm not longing oil. For sure not. All right, so I'm also looking for a setup here on... give me 1 second. I'm also looking for a setup here on the Nasdaq, guys. Just setting it up so we can see it. If they come back higher, I will be looking for a setup on the Nasdaq. But if the news comes out beforehand, it's gonna be impossible for me to take the trade. But if they come back up, I will be selling a sell limit as well here on the Nasdaq. So I have a sell limit placed for the Nasdaq and I have a sell limit placed for gold. And for the Nasdaq, we're just targeting it a little bit down for 2R. For gold, I'm overall bearish, but I'm bullish for the Nasdaq, guys, right? So I'm bullish to bearish for the Nasdaq, or bearish to bullish for the Nasdaq, right? That's the overall idea here. But I'm looking, I like how the VIX is moving higher, but we're going to see how far the Nasdaq is going to move down. Let's say they actually move down instantly and they take the lows. This trade it will no longer be valid when it comes to the Nasdaq, right? So then we just have to wait for the long setup. Why does every Dutch person have a caravan? I don't have a caravan. I don't know why. Like Dutch people they like to travel by car. Some of them, you know, they travel by car and they go camping and stuff, right? That's like a really Dutch thing to do. Instead of going out of the country, they just drive for 3 hours or something and then they go to a camping. And they just go with the caravan. That's what they do, bro, you know? They enjoy it. All right, let's see if they want to come back higher for us first. If not, if they take the lows here, then the NQ trade will be invalidated. We'll see whether or not this is the case. Camping in Zwolle, yeah. No, that's really a Dutch thing, my friend. That's really a Dutch thing. Just camping with the caravan. We got 162 people watching. Guys, if you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. We're still looking to get involved here on the gold short. They missed us by a couple of ticks before moving it down. But they could still come back higher before they go. I hope they do, but we'll see. We'll see. I still give them the option to do so. If they want to retest the current hourly open, I wouldn't mind that at all. But could also be that the next half an hour or the next hour is going to do it. We also have news coming up, so we have to be a bit careful here. If the news comes out, I'm going to remove, of course, the buy and sell limits, or the sell limits, both of them. I'm just going to let the news do its thing before we get involved again. I hope we're going to get a setup here. The market was really, really tough today. Like, it didn't really do anything, to be honest, right? It was just ranging right here. So it is what it is. German as well. Germans are worse here in Norway. We have thousands of German campers every summer. Yeah. You know, just go to a different country, go with your camper, and then, you know, you chill. You know, you have fun around the fireplace and stuff. I think it's pretty nice, you know? You go with your mates instead of you go, like, boozing on some vacation. You just go into the mountains and you explore the world a little bit, you know? I can feel you with we'll be able to enter gold again. Yeah, I think there's still an opportunity here for them to re-rate in the current hourly open and then go. Can you please explain why you want to take the short on MNQ? Yeah, because we're holding up here on the VIX, right? So we're holding up on the VIX. We have a bearish divergence or bullish divergence for the VIX, all right? Meaning that we did not take the low and we took the high on MNQ. And if we're looking at it, it's a BPR, right? So it's a balanced price range. I think they want to make price inefficient below it to then make it higher again. Meaning that they took liquidity on the top side now, and I'm looking for taking liquidity on the bottom side. But I'm still looking for longs on MNQ overall. But this is just a short-term trade down to the current low that we're facing. But I'm still looking for longs overall. But I'm looking for longs down here. And I said earlier that I wasn't looking for shorts because I don't want to get involved just to get involved. But I do like the structure now. Meaning that the way on how they swept liquidity, closing back into the range, I do like that. So for me, this gives me an opportunity to look for the short continuation. Just to go long again afterwards, right? So that's the idea. So if there's an inflation... so if there's inflation, the XY increases and the gold drops. Inflation, what do you mean? If there's inflation? If there's inflation, the value of the currency goes down, right? So you can buy less. Let's see. And if they start printing money, that actually is bullish for the stock market. You see? So that's there's like, if you want to learn more about it for like the economic side of things, like I'm not an economist, guys, right? So I have no degree in finance, but there's a guy that I watch a lot. He's Gary Economics, right? So I watch a lot of his videos, which I find interesting. I think you can learn a lot from this guy. Right? He was the most profitable trader for the Citibank, for the biggest bank in the world, in 2011 and stuff like that. I also read his book, actually. I have it in my room. I've read his entire book. It's a good book, but it's mostly about his life as a trader. But yeah, if you want to learn more about economics, you could watch his channel. I'm not an economist, right? I can give you some insights, but I don't have a full understanding of everything. But when their money is being printed, the most logical reasoning for it is that it's going to be reinvested into the stock market, right? And they're going to buy American bonds, and there's a lot of stuff they do to reuse the money that they're printing. This means it's going to be bullish for the market, right? But it's going to be bearish for the everyday consumer, because then inequality grows, because rich people own assets, poor people don't own assets. And if they do own assets, they have to sell the assets to buy everyday groceries and stuff, right? So that's how they all grow. That's how inequality grows. And say an ongoing cycle. So there's a big chance that it's not going to stop, sadly. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm still looking for the sell limit here. News is coming out in 15 minutes. Let's see if we're going to get tagged in before the news and actually move away before the news. That would be nice. Because the news could definitely be a dangerous thing to look at here, guys, right? Let's see what happens here. Are you all in already? I'm not in yet. I'm looking for a short here for gold, and I'm looking for a short on MNQ. They're coming back to the entry, though. They're coming back for the entry. And we would assume that the DXY wants to rise higher, and oil wants to continue its current trend higher. That's what I'm looking for here. I've watched him a lot. He would make the world a better place with his ways of economics. Yeah, I think so. The thing is, though, is that there's no one right way on how to deal with economics, because there's always going to be one part of the of society that's going to suffer over the fact that economy is kept, yeah, you know, like it's hard to talk about it because it's just how it is. There's always someone that has to suffer for the other person to be richer, right? And if everyone was equal, the world wouldn't function as it's functioning now, as an equal as in capital wise, right? Like you need to have a. It's just how it is, sadly. Will you cancel orders before CPI? If the news comes out, yeah, sure, yeah. I'm not gonna hold it through the CPI. The CPI could do whatever it wants to do. How is the economy temporary in the Netherlands? It's bad. Yeah, the housing market is way too overpriced. It's inflated as heck. If you want to, a lot of people they are struggling more to buy groceries and stuff. Like, but just in general, guys, they like people in the Netherlands, they live pretty wealthy in comparison to most of the other world, right? We're pretty okay set for the Western folks. But it doesn't mean that, like, this is what a lot of people don't understand. So I speak with a lot of people all over the world, and the grass is always greener on the other side, but that's just because they feed it differently, right? So we might make a lot more money, but we also have to pay a lot of money for everything that we have, right? For what we consume. Meaning that the grass is greener here, you make more money, but you're also spending more money. So that's something to remember, you know? Like, as Dutch folks, we pay a lot of taxes. Everything is being taxed. Yeah, the road insurance. There's a lot of stuff you pay money for, guys, right? Owning a car is doesn't matter what type of car you own. It could cost you 400 euros a month just for owning a car, right? Insurance-wise, gasoline-wise, everything like it. All right, let's see if we're going to get tagged in here for the shorts on MNQ. The whole of Europe is kind of fucked. Yeah, sadly, you know, but that's just how it is, man. Oh, we need to put it a little bit lower here. Please don't tell me that you're not going to go without us. That would be really sad if this is the case. Let's see. All right, the stop loss would be above this short-term high that they created after trying to rate the highs. You're not going to do this to us, right? I'm legit like, are you kidding? It's a little bit lower for me. Okay. All right, we still got 10 minutes left before the news. It's kind of sad though. We'll see. The country is great, but the government screws you over without hesitation. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Like we have, for the guys that are wondering, we have a pretty open democracy in the Netherlands. But the democracies that you can choose out of multiple different teams of players, you could say, politicians. But in the end, you only have two big parties, right? And all the other parties are forced to join the other parties. So you're just choosing between left and right, or whatever people want to call it. I don't really believe in left and right, or the statements about being left and right, because if I ask someone that's a left-sided individual, they're going to say it's far right. And if I ask a far right individual, they're going to say it's far left, right? So I just believe in there's a midway, and that's just how it is. And I'm not a politician, and I don't like politics. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing, right? They want to make the illusion of belief, or the illusion of pick of choice, right? That you have the choice to pick, but in the end, they all have to work together anyways, and it's not a tyranny, right? So it's not one group that's gonna decide what's gonna happen. They're all gonna decide together. So you pick and choose, but it's not gonna make a big difference anyways. Bro, literally the same. The left thinks I'm right, and the right thinks I'm left. Yeah, exactly. But that's the whole thing, right? It's yeah. What is really left? What's really right, bro? Like, just leave me out of it, man. It's too much of a headache to think about. Let's just live life. You know, it's a beautiful world we live in. Like the fact that we can communicate with each other around the world now is the most beautiful thing they ever created, and it's being used for the wrong purposes, for debating on the fact that whatever you choose is wrong. All right, we're tagged into the trade. Let's see what's going to happen here on NQ. If they want to go lower for us, or they're going to instantly go the other way. We have to remind ourselves we have news in 8 minutes from now. Let's see what happens here. We still didn't tap 8 o'clock open, so they could still rate it up a little bit before going lower. I hope we're going to get tagged out, or they're going to go and move either up or down before the news. We'll see. It's a bit of a dangerous position, guys, so make sure to manage your risk. Make sure to manage your risk. We're not risking a lot of money here, so that's all right. And the gold is not going near our entry whatsoever. Let's have a look here what the VIX is doing. The VIX is moving down again. Let's see if they want to take the bottom wick and go higher, or this is going to be the, this was the bottom wick to go higher. That could also be the case here. And we're going to get taken out instantly. Let's see. We should vote on individual cases instead of other individuals. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know what is going to be the best system. I've never studied it, but I think any system would have flaws, right? I don't think anything is going to be good or bad in this instance. Looking at the VIX now, after reanalyzing it, just looking at the hourly, I think this might have been the bottom wick for the hourly continuation higher, and I just entered against it. Looking at the VIX, right? You can see it here in the VIX. We actually came back into 6 o'clock and are selling it off. We don't have a bottom wick on the VIX, so I missed that. This might be an instant stop out, guys. We'll have to see whether or not this is the case. If that's the case, it is what it is. Overall, I'm still preferring the longs lower and not from this current location. So if I get stopped out, it is what it is. I wouldn't have longed it here anyways, personally. So let's see. We got 6 more minutes before the news. Let's hope it's going to either stop us out or move into break even before that happens. I put a stop loss on the plus. If it goes up, I won't give the market money. Smart. Well, yeah, you have to also remind yourself that CPI could be an insane move within a second, right? So make sure that if you're on break even, that you understand that it could still do some stuff here. Let's have a look. We still did not take out the inefficient low when it comes to 8 o'clock on the VIX. Yeah, we're going to get taken out instantly here. All right, we got taken out on the Nasdaq. Ooh, what a move up instantly, guys. All right, so what happened here after reanalyzing it? Was it a smart move to go short? I still think it is actually a smart move was a smart move to go short here, looking for these lows to be taken out. But looking at the VIX, you can see that the VIX actually rose up without a bottom wick, tapped back into 6 o'clock and sold off, right? Meaning that I wasn't looking at the VIX too good to make this decision. Overall, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have taken it based on the VIX. It is what it is, though. I think overall it was a good setup looking at the structure, but we're gonna see and see what happens. Gold going back to my entry. Yeah, I'm looking at it, but we got 5 minutes until the news, which I have to keep in mind of. And we're actually moving down lower as well here on the oil. And we're moving drastically lower here on the DXY. All right, I'm taking out my sell limit. We're gonna wait for the news and see what happens. We're already breaking through here on the DXY, to be honest. It did not do what I was expecting it to do. Good morning, Skinny. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Welcome to the live streams. It's going up for the liquidity for sure. Good mindset after the loss, bro. You got this. Yeah, not a problem, bro. It's not a problem, you know? If I'm not risking too much, it's gonna be all right, you know? If I was risking 1 mini, I would be crying my ass off right now. So I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. But looking at it now, like surely, if I'm looking at it now, it's easy to say afterwards, right, guys? Everyone is the best trader in the world if they look at hindsight data. But looking at it from the VIX perspective, this wouldn't be the ideal short setup, and I would actually prefer the longs, but I would have preferred the longs lower. So I'm still looking at it, and I still think, yeah, it could have gone lower, to be honest, you know? Looking at these lows here. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. We got the news in 3 minutes from now. Let's see what the news is going to do. If the news actually drives it all the way down, I'm still preferring a long setup. But if they just continue and they rock it, there's a big chance we're not going to take anything else today besides the L that we just took. But we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. We got 163 people watching. For the guys that actually really enjoy the live streams, I would highly appreciate you guys for smashing up the like. I know we just took an L trade, right? I know we took an L trade. For the guys that don't like that, you don't have to like the stream if you don't like it. But I lose around 50% of my trades, sometimes 60%. But we're still making money. So I'm going to lose more often than not. I'm just telling you right now. I didn't take the setup because we were close to the news, but it looked good. Yeah, I think it looked good. But if I'm looking at the VIX, I'm gonna keep coming back to the VIX to this setup because I have to criticize myself regarding it, right? The VIX does look like it wanted to sell off further, especially when I noticed that there was no bottom wick. I didn't notice it beforehand, but now I noticed it, right? So it's like, it is what it is though. We re-rated the highs once again, which is interesting. We got news coming out in 2 minutes from now. But yeah, the VIX gave it away for us, guys. If we looked at the VIX, we saw that the VIX actually did not want to go higher, also with the inefficient candle. So I should have had a closer look on the VIX here. Should have had a closer look on the VIX. All right, we're moving up on gold. Remind yourself the sell limit is removed. We got news in 2 minutes, so I'm not going to try and be a crazy man here. We're going to see whether or not this wants to move lower or higher or whatever. And we're going to see what happens here. We're going to see what happens here. The VIX is still moving down. We're actually breaking below 2 o'clock as well on the VIX right now. We're in the bottom of the day, which is interesting. Let's see if this wants to actually start selling off drastically here during the news. DXY dropping. Yeah, the DXY is dropping, bro. You're right. So that's why it's like, I would prefer DXY to flip around and go long. But right now it doesn't look like it. Oil is still rising though, which is good. All right, we got 30 seconds until the news, guys. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I still have these lows. I do believe they want to take those lows out, to be honest, but we're going to see. We're going to see. I might be completely wrong. All right, here we go. 10 seconds until the news. You see already price is wicking, right? See, look at this. It's already wicking. People are buying into it. And oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. All right, I'm glad that we got taken out on this position. before the news happened, because this would have been drastic. Look at that move higher on gold, guys. Look at this move higher on gold. Now we're moving it down. DXY fell all the way through the floor. Let's have a look at the numbers. That's why we don't predict the news. Let's see. Everything is negative. Let's see. So this is negative. All right, let's have a look. So we're negative 0%. Everything is negative, guys. Negative forecast. Really negative. Still positive in relationship to the previous, but it's still negative in relationship to the outcome. 3.5%. Yeah, everything is negative, guys. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to whoever... oh my god, man. That's a big candle. That is a big candle. All right, we're selling it off all the way. So where are we going now is the big question on the higher time frame perspective. Depending on how far they want to sell it, they might want to sell it down here. Let's see. Do you only trade and stream the pre-market, or do you also trade and stream New York and Asia? No, I only trade around 6 to 9 o'clock. I've noticed for me personally, those are the most profitable hours for me. When I get it set up and I have a bias and my bias is correct, it most of the times likes to play out pretty neat. Pretty neat. Yeah, for whoever actually took the long setup here, well played for you guys. That's interesting, you know. For the guys that took a long from below, that's crazy. I'm glad we got taken out though, because if let's say we were right around here and then they opened up, we would have been slipped drastically, guys. We would have been slipped drastically. So I'm glad we got taken out here before the news happened. We got 150 people watching. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the likes. It will be highly, highly appreciated. All right, gold just pushed all the way up, back to the current weekly open. We're actually filling in the gap right now. Let's see what happens once we fill in the gap. Right here. What a crazy opening gap, guys. Oil is rising, which is interesting. That's still contradicting the longs here on gold. And the DXY is still falling, but the question is, how far are we gonna fall? That's my big question here, guys. I just made 16.6K on that. Nice. Congratulations. Well played. Just yeah. Dangerous market. So I'm glad you made money. I'm glad I locked myself out. I would be tempted to long here, and I could become very tricky. Yeah, very quickly. Yeah, 100%, bro. Let's have a look here. So liquidity set at 106. Yeah, we just stepped into the weekly open, but maybe they want to go a little bit higher. You can see here, we talked about it before. You have the closure from previous week and the open from current week, meaning that there's a gap here, right? So it could definitely be that they want to go a little bit higher before they go down. Yeah, it could also be a loss of 60K because of slippage. Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing, right? That's why I think news trading is a bit dangerous. And I'm glad we got taken out just beforehand. It could have been, that's the thing. It couldn't even went into profit and shoot all the way up and take us out, you know? What do I know, my friend? Sorry, could you ask me again? They robbed for 20 bucks. What do you mean? What do you mean they robbed you for 20 bucks? They put your entry higher, or what are you talking about? That's just delay, bro. If you're entering around news, the brokers or whatever you're using is delaying your order because of the speed and the drastic move in price. It delays it. That's just how it works. But okay, I'm satisfied. Yeah, well, you made your money, bro. You know, make your money, enjoy it. Let's have a look what happens here now, though. I'm questioning whether or not I have the opportunity here to still make a position. I could, you know, FOMO in and try to trade it back, knowing that the news might be not priced in correctly, but I don't really feel like doing that. We're already trading back up on the VIX as well. We're also trading back up on the DXY. Would you short this? No, not really. You know, I could short it because I understand that this is a fake move and there's a big chance they want to sell it off, right? So I could say that I would enter it now and put my stop above the high with the assumption on the fact that this is a fake move, and then I try to short it back down. All right, but what is the actual technical thesis of it? Isn't it basically all the algos and the big money close open limit orders during these during news events, thus lower liquidity temporarily? Nah, skinny, no, not really. To be honest, most brokers and stuff like that, they put you on B-Book anyways. So you're on a demo account. You're not trading the real life market, meaning you're not actually ordering the market anyways. So they could just order you in instantly the moment you enter. But they have there's a delay, right? And the delay is how it makes them money, you know. You either blow your account by FOMOing it into a trade and you're way too late, and then they put you even higher than you initially wanted to enter from and stuff like that. It's just how the game works. It's just how the game works. If you want the most precise entries, you should end with limit orders and not with market orders and stuff. And even then, they could still screw you over, you know? It's just how the game works. That's the sad part about trading, guys. All right, let's have a look here. So we're rising back up again on the VIX. We're moving down again on gold. I don't want to enter it here randomly. Moving higher as well when it comes to the DXY. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if they want to rate it again higher and then give us a structure. I might still look for the short opportunity here for gold, regardless of the news. I think they want to rebalance some of the candle. If they start rebalancing it instantly all the way, yeah, it is what it is. I just have to call it for what it is. And when it comes to MNQ, yeah, we got taken out before the news. I have nothing else to say about it, to be honest. I have nothing else to say about it. I thought these lows were a good target for the longs later on. Overall, the long bias was correct. Easy to say after the market goes up a couple 100 points. But yeah, the bias for the longs was from down here, so the location wasn't correct overall. It is what it is, though. We got 130 people watching. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure to smash up the like. That would be highly, highly appreciated. Let's try to hit 130, guys. That would be sick. That would be sick. It would be highly appreciated. We do not have a top wick on this current candle. They might want to come and seek that out. But yeah, how do I get involved here? It's impossible, right? We don't have any structure to get involved in. Let's have a look here. We're trading it back up on the VIX, selling it lower on the Nasdaq. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna get some water, guys. I'm gonna get some water and I'll be back, and we're looking at it with a fresh eye, whether or not it's favorable for me to trade it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'll be back in a second here, guys. All right, I'm back. Who's still watching? Let me know in the chat. Press the 1 in the chat if you're still actively watching. I appreciate it. All right, let's have a look here. Hey, you guys are still here. You guys are legends. You guys are legends. Thank you for still tuning in actively. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, US30. I don't really have a I don't really have a good relationship with US30 personally. But some people like it. But I have some bad memories when it comes to US30 in the past when I was trading forex. So yeah, no, not my cup of tea. US30. Still here. Thank you, Simon. Judy still here. Thank you. Thank you guys for still being here. I really appreciate that. I'm still flat. Yeah, I'm flat as well. I'm unbiased, to be honest, when I'm looking at the charts right now. I'm a bit unbiased. Because how would I look for the long continuation play here? It's almost impossible, because I could use this as my stop loss. But with such a big, inefficient candle to the downside, there's no way for me to take this trade. When I'm looking at MNQ, yeah, there's no structure, basically, right? So it's impossible to trade the shorts here as well. Yeah. And the chat is healthy, of course. Let's keep it going this way. Thank yourself, brother. You're the reason. I appreciate that, man. Now, you guys are legends, you know? You guys are tuning in every single day, watching me lose money, make money, you know? It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. And we're learning together. That's what it's all about. I told you guys before, right? I don't have blue blood. I just have red blood. I'm just a regular guy trying to make it work in trading. I'm not a special guru. I don't want to be seen that way either. I don't think no one is special, to be honest, in the trading game. Some might, but yeah, who knows? And we learn together. You see what I mean? That's the reason I'm here. We're learning together, trying to make it work, trying to make it something successful, trying to get some payouts on stream. That's nice. But yeah, this is a perfect example on a trade that we took, which looked nice on MNQ, but in relationship to on the VIX, it actually wasn't looking too favorable. And it's good because now I learned from it. Because in the end, it's not that we lost a lot of money, right? We took a okay size on risking here on this trade. But looking at it right now from this perspective, I'm like, I actually did not have to take this trade looking at the VIX, right? Meaning that I could have still saved the capital instead of taking the capital or giving the capital to the market. It was obvious that gold will pump and fill the gap from the weekend. It was stupid to go short. Yeah, if you say so. If you say so. I was looking for shorts, personally. I didn't take the shorts, but I was looking for shorts. I had my setup. But yeah, I think anything is obvious after the fact, right? That's the big problem, my friend. It's obvious that they went back to it now, because they went back to it, right? But if they actually continue to sell lower, it's obvious because the structure is already showing you sell pressure, right? So it's always obvious after the fact. I'm trying to avoid that because otherwise I don't want to persuade myself or manipulate myself into thinking that these moves are predictable, because they're not. They're never predictable. If you look at the VIX, it cleared some nice lows and now it can go back up, which will drag NQ down more, and that's why I'm long only at 650. I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Now I see the fact that VIX wants to move higher from here. We actually went into an extreme and it's moving higher at the moment. But structurally speaking, there's not a lot of structure to go on from right now. And maybe they still want to go back to these lows down here, you know? They might still want to do that. We've got a new hourly in 15 minutes from now. The question is, how do you get involved, right? That's the main question here. That is the main question. It shouldn't go back up, really, as the actual inflation is less than the forecasted. Well, yeah, most of the news is bearish for the dollar, right? But when it comes to like news having a short-term impact on the market, doesn't mean that it will continue to have impact for the continuation of the day, right? Doesn't mean it's not the case, though. It could still be the case that this wants to continue all the way down. But yeah, it's not always like that. US headline, consumer inflation post biggest 1-month decrease since April 2020. Headline, consumer inflation post biggest 1-month decrease since April 2020. Oh, that's interesting. We all have different opinions about the market, but we also need to be respectful. Yeah, sure. No, 100%. No, 100%. It's all right, though. Like, I don't mind it when people have different opinions. I don't really mind. I don't think he meant it in a bad way. I don't think so. Gold skyrocketed. Yes. We went all the way through the moon, bro. We went all the way back up. Did you study order flow? Did you study order flow like you said last week? Yeah, I've been looking into order flow. Yeah, for sure. I've been setting it up. I'm not done yet, though. There's some more stuff I still need to figure out. But I've been looking at it for sure. And Thomas was thinking about short. It was price giving info possible shorts. In my opinion, the XAUUSD is still dropping. Yeah, you're right. But that's what I mean, right? It's like news can change anything. But it's like for the read itself, it showed me possibilities for a short on gold. And the news said, no, you're completely wrong. But I'm glad we took the trade out for gold. And when it came to the Nasdaq, yeah, the Nasdaq, looking back at it, I think the structure was okay. But when I'm looking at the VIX, the VIX actually confirmed for me that this wasn't an ideal setup, right? No, I didn't mean it badly. I'm trying to see what you're doing here. No. We weren't referring to you, Tread. We weren't referring to you, my friend. Referring to someone else. We're all in trading for profit. Who cares who's right? 100%, bro. Now, there's infinite amount of money, right? The thing is with trading, it's a big competition between some people, right? They would like to compete with other people and show other people that they're better than someone else in a game of uncertainty. You see what I mean? A game of uncertainty. So no one actually knows, and they will find ways to tell you that whatever they did, it didn't work out for X reason, right? That's why it didn't work out or whatever. They'll find excuses and stuff, right? I try to avoid the complete, competition side of things when it comes to trading. Because I don't really feel like arguing with people on X or whatever, or arguing with any of you guys regarding any setup whatsoever. I don't really see the point of doing that. So I don't know. I also don't praise myself when I'm right, because I understand that there is uncertainty. So the market, it could go, let's say I enter short now, it goes on all the way. I could say, you see that I was right on the shorts, blah, 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 blah. I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. There's no point. I'm looking to trade the gold pullback. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I'm looking at what's happening here, because we still haven't taken this low when it comes to the DXY. It doesn't mean they have to. You know, it could be tweezers lows and they actually want to move higher. A short here would have been nice for the MNQ. Yeah, it's just on how do you get involved, you know? We got a new hourly in 10 minutes from now. So I'm waiting for the new hourly to see what happens here. And see if this gives us any possibility for maybe the short or the long continuation play. We're going to see what happens here, though. We're going to see what happens here. They went all the way back up higher. You still have a really small gap left open to the upside right here. Right, if you look right here. So we still have a really small gap up. The gap is still not filled on gold. Am I correct? Yeah, you're right. Man, you have such a good influence on me. Yeah, thanks, bro. I guess. I hope it's beneficial. Thank you, YouTube, for recommending me this human fella. Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. My friend. You guys have all good influence on me as well. You know, when I'm trading live, I'm of course reconsidering every position that I make. You know, Not always, you know, but most of the times I do. Yeah, we're helping each other, guys. We're trying to rise up here together. That's the whole purpose of it all. That's the whole purpose of it all. It's all about progress. I followed my progress and I was in a trade on gold long from 2 a.m. UK time. I was nervous but held and I believed in my analysis. Well played, Professor. Well played, my friend. Well played. Because the need of money and real money was making me stupid decisions. Yeah, if you're trading just to make money, guys, you're gonna always have you have the wrong driver to make decisions, right? So I guess it's always good to find some other source of income while you're trading or learning how to trade. Because yeah, that's just better, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. As someone who refused to work always, because I always refused to work a job. I still don't have a job. I don't really need one. But if I would find one that I like to do while I could still trade, I would do it. Why not? Bro, I'm handicapped. I have a curvial spine. Yeah, I also have spine problems, bro. So I have something is called Schuyerman disease or kyphosis is what I have in my back. I managed to train most of it out by boxing and heavy lifting, but I live through pain every single day. It is what it is, though. You know, it's part of the game. I have my problems. I'm a human being, guys. Right? I'm not some special guy. I also have my problems. Like many of you guys out there, we're all in the same boat here, guys. All in the same boat here. Yeah. All right, let's have a look here. Let's see what happens. The VIX is still rising higher, which is interesting. Yeah, we're going to wait for the new hour to open up. And if the new hour gives me an entry for shorts, I will take it. And if not, it is what it is. We're going to call it for today. But we're going to wait for the new hour, see if it wants to give us something. And if not, it's going to be as it is. We're going to see as it is. Who is still actively watching here in the chat? Smash a like if you're still here. And put a 1 in the chat if you're still here. So you're waiting for a pullback on gold if you were short. The problem is here is that the DXY, like let's say the DXY actually starts running higher. I would prefer to look for a short play on gold just to trade the reversal play here, right? But I'm waiting for the new hour to confirm this. So once that happens, I'll be looking for a short play here on gold. But it really, like the question is, how far do they want to go? Do they really want to come all the way back down to take out the inefficient price action they created? That's the big question, right? That is the big question, what we're looking for here. You guys are still actively watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. I don't know what to say. You guys are legends. I really appreciate every single one of you. All right, let's have a look here. So, yeah, we're going to wait 5 more minutes for the new hour. See what they're going to do here. When it comes to MNQ, price action above, then look for the flip to the downside would be the idea here. So I'm looking for it to trade again. I'm still looking for shorts here to the downside. Looking to trade it back to the current news hour. Back to 8:30 would be the target for me. And that would be it, right? So I'm looking for the VIX also to come back to 8:30 here to actually make price efficient. As you guys can see, there's no top wick or not a clear top wick on it, or there's not a top wick, I think. No, there's no top wick. So I'm looking for price to go back there. And if the VIX goes up, then I'm assuming that the Nasdaq wants to go down. My back is cooked. You also have a bad back. Oh, we all have bad backs in here, guys. Yeah, that's tough. I also have the same stuff. Trading is all I can do to support my daughters. Almost hitting profit on my first prop account. Hey, I hope for you it works out, my friend. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with us, you know, trying to make it work. I'm not always going to be right, but I'm never wrong. You didn't read this, the mischievous one. I'm not always going to be right, but I'm never wrong. Now I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, let's see. Oh, your neck is fucked. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that's tough, my friend. That's really tough. All right, let's have a look here. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, they're selling off pretty drastically here already. Let's see if we're gonna still get an opportunity to get involved here, because it seems like they don't want to give it to us. We're gonna see whether or not it's gonna happen. We got a 5-minute fair value gap above us, which could be traded into before they're gonna sell it off. And yeah, we could rate it down again on the new 5-minute, on the new hourly, I mean, and then go higher again. And that would confirm the idea. We're gonna see if this is the play here. And when it comes to the VIX, yeah, I'm still looking for the VIX to just continue higher. We just rated this current 5-minute no bottom wick low. We need some higher prices here on the new hourly open to go down again. Maybe buy again. Yeah, I wouldn't buy here. I'm looking for the shorts down to 830. And that would be it for me. I might be wrong, you know. It's not. You never know. You never know. It's 5 minutes. Yeah, we got 3 minutes until the new hour. That's 9 o'clock open. So we also got a New York session open coming in soon. Yeah, let's see what happens though. CPI likes to do its own. It likes to do its own stuff, guys. You know, so we have to be really careful here. Let's see what price will give us. Yeah, 100%, bro. You're 100% right. Let's see if they want to give us the top wick for the shorts. That would be nice. Let's see. Let's have a look here, guys. We got 110 people watching still. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you enjoyed the live streams, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated. We had a trade just earlier. We tried to short it just before the news. And I'm glad we actually got taken out before the news happened, because we were wrong, obviously. So we had a stop taken on MNQ. But we're still looking to trade here. I'm looking for longs overall, but I don't think this is a valid area to look for longs. So I'd like to look for price to go lower first. We're going to see whether or not this is the case. And for the guys that are wondering, I could have not taken the trade looking at more closely at the VIX here. So, yeah. You know, decision was made. After reanalyzing, I think I shouldn't be in that position, or shouldn't have taken that position overall. There's one more red at 16 USD. Yeah, that's no. That's at 1600. That's oh yeah, it is. Actually, you're right. Yeah, you have Chairman War speaking. Interesting. You're right. I missed that completely, actually, to be honest. But yeah, we wouldn't be trading anymore when that happens. I would probably be done already. I hope so, to be honest. I hope that if we get any setup whatsoever, I'll be done afterwards. But let's see. We got a new hourly coming in here. Let's see what happens here. More minds, more info. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you remember. You remember. I like that. You remember. I like that. All right, we're moving it up. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. This is the new hourly here, guys. Let's see if they want to tap it higher first before going lower, or they want to go lower from here instantly. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look what's going to happen here. So we are tapping into the fair value gap. We got a 3-minute inefficient candle above us. If they want to rate a little bit higher, that wouldn't be, I wouldn't not like it if that happens. We're going to see whether or not this is the case. If they go instantly from here, we have to see how we're going to get involved. Let's say they close below this and create an order block on the lower time frame. We could potentially get involved like this, right? And we have to stop above the current hour and we aim for 2-hour return. We'll see whether or not this is the case. If they go higher first, that wouldn't be a bad thing, you know, if they go higher a bit first. Meaning they go lower a bit here on the DXY, but if they break through the low, that wouldn't be ideal, right? So we have to see whether or not this is the case. We can see the new hour opened up, and it's rating down now. Let's see if what happens once they come into this level. This is like the extreme of the extreme. Yeah, the DXY is indeed going down at the moment, but it's creating the bottom wick of the hour. If this wants to go higher, this is the creation of the bottom wick. It was indeed bad news for the dollar, yeah, for sure. But it doesn't mean that they can't reach back and fill some of the inefficiencies up for the dollar. But let's say they break through here and they actually start sinking. Yeah, then it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. All right, we're moving higher. Let's see what happens here from this exact current moment. If they want to break through it or they want to move higher, again, is the big question now. Let's see. So we can see on the current market, we can see that we tapped in, sold it off again, coming back into last bullish candles before the down move right here. So you have an order block that's being created, and we're tapping into that now. I'll just give it a blue one. All right, let's see what happens here. So we're respecting the extreme here for the DXY, which is good. Actually tap back into the order block right here. All right, I'm gonna give it a crack here on MQ. So I'm in on MNQ, looking for a 2-hour return here. So I'm short on MNQ just now, right here, with the stop above the current hourly open or current hourly high, looking for a 2-hour return down. I'm waiting for gold here, but I like overall how we're forming right now on MNQ. And I'm waiting for gold here as well. All right. And I'm entering also on gold here, guys. So I'm in 2 trades right now. Make sure to manage your risk. If these ones get stopped out, it's done for me, of course. We're going to see what happens here. We're just looking for the retracement back into the current candle. When I'm looking at the VIX, VIX is moving higher, which I like, right? I'm expecting VIX to go and break through, meaning that we're going to sell off here on MNQ. And when it comes to the DXY, DXY is also moving from the extreme. So I'm expecting DXY to continue higher. We're going to see if these two get stopped out, I'm going to call it for what it is. How's it going so far? I have 1 stop out. I have 2 more trades that are set up right now. I'm going to see whether or not they want to move. In our favor, yes or no, right? Yeah, I'm expecting DXY to recover higher to mitigate some of the move back higher. We're selling off pretty drastically here on gold, so that's nice. Let's see whether or not we want to continue down here on MNQ. MNQ is rising up a little bit. We need to see some buying pressure here forming on the DXY. MNQ doesn't look like it wants to do it at the moment. We'll see whether or not they're going to respect it and move down. Right now, it's definitely not doing it. Let's see what the VIX. The VIX actually is selling off further. Okay, we got taken out here on the MNQ. MNQ got taken out again. So I'm gonna leave MNQ for what it is. Let's hope that we're actually gonna sell off here on gold. Otherwise, we're gonna call it. We're moving down again further as well on the dollar, which is not good. It actually respected the zone for a bit, but right now it's not doing it. If we're gonna give a little bit of a sell-off down here on gold, I'm gonna put my stops to break even. I'm gonna already trail it like almost to the stop loss basically on break even, because we're not respecting the zone anymore. We're selling off, but it didn't break through 9 o'clock, so not breaking. But maybe we can survive this on gold and actually wants to recover some of the move down. But yeah, MNQ didn't do it for us here, guys, right? So we got taken out here on MNQ. I actually liked it a lot, but it didn't do it. It is what it is. Maybe gold can recover the loss that we made on both assets here. But it doesn't look like it for now. Let's see if we can respect it here on the DXY and move higher. And otherwise, I just have to call it for what it is today. And we walk away. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to walk away for today. We got two actual losses and one loss that just trailed in on gold. And it is what it is. I'm going to call it for what it is, guys. I don't think it's worth trading anymore. Maybe this gold setup still can play out here. But yeah, I think I don't want to force myself into taking unnecessary risk here. Structure is not ideal. I don't know. I really expected them to come back down to 830 here to rebalance some of the price action. But maybe I'm just completely wrong on the bias. So I'm going to call it for what it is. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to manage your risk. We got two big losses, what am I even saying? We got 2 losses today. We're down, I think, 300 or something on the day. Let's have a look here. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, we're down 300 on the day, which is all right. It's not a big problem. Maybe I can get another trade later on in the session, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to call it for what it is. But yeah, that's it for me. I wish you guys a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow again at 6. I'll be here at the same time as yesterday. Overall, the bias was wrong, I guess. Well, the long bias was correct, but we didn't get the entry where we wanted it to get it from. And when it comes to gold, yeah, gold was completely wrong, of course. But there's also a big influence when it comes to the news. So yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. If you haven't smashed the like already, make sure to do so. And yeah, that's it. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely day ahead, and be careful during New York Open, especially where we're located now in price. See what I'm saying? All right, guys. See you tomorrow, Duke. Thank you, bro. All right, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, see you guys later. Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. See you in a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. See you guys. Ciao, 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 ciao.